Freemasonry. An ancient fraternity shrouded in mystery. With roots stretching back to the medieval stonemasons, its age-old traditions have remained virtually unchanged for centuries.
When people hear the word Freemason, they think about funny handshakes, they think about rolled up trouser legs.
If you do a little bit of Googling, it's a cabal of people that are taking over governments and things.
Freemasonry, secrecy, secret society, 100%.
Now, as the Brotherhood celebrates its 300th anniversary, the United Grand Lodge of England is allowing the cameras in for the first time to reveal what really goes on behind closed doors.
Right, now, will you bugger off?
With unprecedented access, we lift the veil of secrecy to discover what it means to be a modern-day Freemason.
I feel a bit inadequate. It's a lot of fancy aprons, a lot of fancy aprons.
From the regalia...
My mum might say I look like a complete wally, but you can never please your mum.
Forward, brethren.
To the lavish ceremonies...
You will seal that with your lips.
And ancient rituals.
Do you have anything to give in the name of charity?
No.
All of the rituals that we do, which are like little plays, I love them.
And of course, the unbreakable bonds of brotherhood.
Have some of that, brother.
Describe it, you go, why would anyone want to do that? But once you're in it, you get it.
So tell me a surprising Masonic fact.
Surprising Masonic fact? There are no goats involved. To spoil the whole illusion. Oh dear.
Today, there are 6 million Freemasons around the world. But London is where it all started 300 years ago. Freemasons' Hall in Covent Garden is headquarters to the United Grand Lodge of England and the spiritual home of Freemasonry.
This is the Grand Temple for Freemasonry in England. It's the, if you like, the equivalent of Twickenham to English rugby.
The Right Worshipful Jonathan Spence has been a Freemason since 1982.
Freemasonry is a secular organisation which encourages its members to become better members of their community by using ritual, and the metaphor that's used throughout is that of building and how, when you build something, you improve as you go through life.
Now Deputy Grand Master, Jonathan is one of Freemasonry's rulers, third only to the Grand Master himself, His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent.
How does one get to be a ruler?
Oh, that's an interesting question. If I knew the answer to that, I might be able to tell you.
Today, Jonathan will be leading one of the year's biggest Masonic events, quarterly communication.
So now we have to get ourselves ready, get into a tail coach, the next part of the day.
Despite being little more than a glorified business meeting, quarterly communication will be attended by 1,400 Masons from across the country and even the world.
Very nice to meet you.
Very nice to see you. Welcome to London. Hello. Quarterly communication is quite a formal business meeting, and the decisions can range from setting the dues for the following year to whether it's appropriate to recognise a Grand Lodge of another country.
While the content of the meeting may lack colour, the same can't be said of the build-up.
I'll try not to fiddle with it. This is what I usually do. There's a rather long procession. It's quite something when you walk in through those double doors and see the Grand Lodge open before you. And then you have the daunting prospect of realising it's actually all contingent on you actually starting it. That is a moment of fear when you look around and realise that you've got to get it right.
Freemasonry believes in brotherly love, relief and truth as a way to make good men better.
The main premise is we're all equal. It's as simple as that. Yes, there will be people who do different roles, but fundamentally we are all the same.
Despite its reputation for secrecy, or perhaps because of it, Freemasonry has prospered for over 300 years.
All walks of life. Everybody you could think of are Freemasons and can become Freemasons, from dustbin men through to top judges. It's open to anybody.
The lessons Freemasonry teaches are 100% relevant. For as long as mankind requires morality and ethics, Freemasonry has something to teach you.
Freemasonry enables me to understand myself as an individual, as a man.
I think the type of person that gravitates towards Freemasonry is curious. And I don't mean curious weird, I mean intellectually curious.
Eager to join the Freemason fraternity is 40-year-old Bedfordshire farmer James Wooten.
By joining the Masons, I'm hoping to meet a broader spectrum of friends, people from outside farming, people with different opinions, and see what's behind all what goes on. So yes, yeah, I'm excited about it, because there is so many tales and things with it that, yeah, we'll see what the truth is, hopefully. Go on in, go on in.
Well, when he came to me and said he wanted to be a Mason, it was a marvellous feeling, and my heart nearly missed a beat, I think. It's a great comfort to know I've got somebody very close to me and in the family who I can discuss things with. And we can help each other. He can watch my back and I can watch his.
James's father, Edward, has been practicing the craft for 50 years and is proud of his family's Masonic heritage.
This is my father. He was in the lodge, and he never put me under pressure to join Masonry, but even then it was apparent to me of the advantages of being a Mason as opposed to not being a Mason, in the sense that you had a certain amount of ring protection around you, which made you comfortable. Right, pull! Can't believe it. Oh, I can't hit.
He's very proud, and I feel as though I wish I'd perhaps thought of joining earlier, because this is his big interest, and it'll give me, you know, something in common to sort of blossom and bond.
As his father was involved, I thought at some point he might decide to join, but I didn't know quite when. It's quite a good thing that he's joining, though. His dad's been really very happy about it all, but there's a lot of sort of myths and stories, and it's quite hard to find out what really happens. And I'm definitely going to be questioning James later, although I'm not sure how much he's going to give away, but I'm going to have a go at finding out.
Yeah, I got the suit and everything, so yeah, the suit my father bought me. My father has never taken me shopping, never. He's quite cautious with his spending, so yeah, it's quite an experience. That was an experience in its own, which perhaps means that, yeah, it's all going to be quite special, this. So yeah, something new. Yeah. This is be the suit I keep that my father bought. So hopefully I've got all the gear, I've got no idea, so all the gear, no idea. What could possibly go wrong, you know?
There are 3 stages to becoming a fully fledged Mason. They are known as degrees.
In each degree, the candidate is given certain secrets.
A sign, a handshake, and a word.
When you are initiated to the first degree, you become an entered apprentice.
During the initiation, the candidate must bare one of his breasts. This is to show that he is not a woman.
In just a few hours, Bedfordshire farmer James Wooten will become a Freemason.
Look at the class of that animal. Look at that. Look at the bum on it. That's what we want.
Ahead of the infamous initiation ceremony, James's father, Edward, is keen to reassure his nervous son and soon-to-be brother.
Everybody of every generation has gone through this ceremony. You are blindfolded when you go into the temple, and there is a reason for that, which I can't really tell you now, but it will be fully explained why that's the way you are received into Masonry.
And you follow someone in, someone
You will have somebody leading you in. He is called the junior deacon. He just leads you around until the point when the blindfold is taken off, and then you can walk round it yourself. You'll see where you're going.
Right, crikey. Something to get nervous about, but yeah, sounds very exciting.
Like his father and 5 generations of Wootton men before him, James is joining the Russell Lodge in Bedford.
Okay, right, follow me. Now, the candidate this evening will be put in there prior to coming upstairs, so he doesn't get to really meet anybody until the ceremony is underway. So, poor chap's going to be put on his lonesome.
Worshipful Brother Anthony Henderson is the lodge's highest-ranking member.
Welcome to the Russell Lodge.
As in all Masonic lodges, signs and symbols are everywhere.
They help you reflect and realise or fully understand what's right from wrong, to be charitable and mindful of the needs of others.
In the lodge, a rough stone known as an ashlar represents the as yet unformed initiate.
So when we have taken the rough stone and educated and polished it up, we end up with a perfect stone, and that's what we hope all the brethren will become. And initiations are a very special evening for the lodge because it's new blood coming into the lodge. The whole family comes around, thrilled to pieces that they've got a new member of their family, because they are like a newborn baby.
You right?
Right.
Next time I see you, you will be a Mason.
Right. Crikey.
It's a very proud day for me. It's really up there with getting married. Quite emotional.
Stonemasons wore aprons and gloves as protection when working. For Freemasons, they serve a different purpose.
We're just about to go into the meeting. I'm going to get my regalia on. That denotes my rank in Grand Lodge.
It is quite peculiar. You're in the room on your own, you're in isolation. It is a different atmosphere, very intimidating in a way.
With the brethren assembled in the lodge room, the outer guard, or tiler, is dispatched to fetch the initiate.
James, come with me, please.
You feel as though you're being summoned. You're going up for the ultimate job interview or something like that, really. It's not for the faint-hearted.
Before the ceremony, the initiate must be physically prepared, which includes being blindfolded, or as Masons say, hoodwinked. Though we've been given unprecedented access, this is one ceremony that cannot be filmed. To preserve the mystery for future candidates, only Masons can witness the initiation ritual, and the tiler is stationed outside to guard against cowans or eavesdroppers.
We don't tell candidates necessarily what to expect in the initiation because you can only go through it once. And if you know exactly what's going to happen, then it will spoil it.
You walk into the ceremony with certain trepidations.
Their friends might have ribbed them a little bit about, you know, sheeps and goats and things of that sort.
The candidate is blindfolded. The candidate might have a noose around the neck.
And yes, there is a rolled up trouser leg. But that's really just to going back to the old days of stonemasons when workmen had to prove that they were fit and able.
It alludes to a rebirth, if you like. It is your entrance into masonry.
And you get given the light. That's when an individual becomes a brother.
By the time Brother James emerges in his new white apron symbolizing innocence, he is in possession of a secret handshake, a secret word, and a secret sign, so that if required, he can prove to other Masons that he is an entered apprentice.
Very plain apron compared to everyone else's. It really marks that you're a newbie. So yeah, I'm officially in.
Yeah, it should be, yeah. Just the two of you? Just the two of them, yeah.
My father, he shook my hand as a Mason, as a fellow brother, and it was a really important moment. It was really, you know, a real nugget of gold for me that I'll always remember. Because, you know, at my age, you know, you don't get many of those moments anymore. You're not a young boy anymore, so to have your dad pleased for you, and that sinks in. You know, you feel all puffed up and glad you've done it.
Brethren, please stand to order to receive your worshipful master, accompanied by the Deputy Provincial Grand Master and the Initiate.
It was an excellent night. Typical, what we call a Russell evening, especially with his father being here. You know, it was such a pleasant, lovely experience for him. The brethren all enjoyed themselves and they all performed this superbly. It was really good. And it's what Masonry's all about, everyone enjoying themselves and having a great time. Look at that. It's amazing how a bit of dust gets up here, you know. Well, this is my little converted loft. We had this done 2 years ago now. As you can see, my collection was growing quite large.
Tony, a regional business manager, has devoted 34 years of his life to the Brotherhood and spends up to 15 hours a week on his masonry.
Beautiful.
But it's not his only passion.
I know pretty much each one. The big Ferrari, that's quite a rare animal.
In 2 weeks' time, in recognition of his service to the Brotherhood, Tony's being elevated to the highest rank in the county, Provincial Grand Master.
It's a bit like winning the lottery, albeit I've only won small amounts on the lottery, and that's exciting enough. It's quite a responsibility. The brethren look to the Provincial Grand Master as an example to them of how a Freemason should be.
Right, pour them into the bowl.
Tony's promotion is big news in the Henderson household.
This next week, Grandad's going to be made the Provincial Grand Master of Bedfordshire. Yeah. Wow. Hey?
The installation of a PGM is a once-in-a-decade event and will be attended by some 500 Masons from Bedfordshire and beyond.
It's coming at me very quickly at the moment, so I'm trying to get things organised. Hopefully I won't get too emotional throughout the day, but who knows? We shall see.
Today, Tony's visiting the regalia specialists to make sure his aprons look their sparkling best.
If you're extremely fortunate to be appointed a Provincial Grand Master, you're entitled to wear one of these beautiful things. 5-pointed star in the centre, the 3 gold levels still there, and then we have this ornate and elaborate embroidery around the edge of pomegranates and sunflowers and vine leaves, because they feature in the ceremonial throughout Freemasonry. And it's a wonderful thing.
An ornate apron can easily set its owner back up to £1,000, so it pays to look after them.
I acquired these from the office. But unfortunately, the panel, as you can see, is rather worse for wear.
Yeah.
But it's got these stains on here.
I think what we could do with that is get a new skin fitted in that for you.
Right. I don't think the belt will need extending. I'm slightly larger than the previous occupants of these, so if you'd ever said to me way back in 1990, you know, one day you'll be the Provincial Grand Master, I'd have said, you must be joking. But here we are. I'll pack these away.
Okay.
But there's more to Freemasonry than just rank and regalia.
The ritual is what makes Freemasonry unique.
There are messages that are imparted through the ritual. And this ritual has been passed down from generation to generation over hundreds of years.
There is ritual in Freemasonry because ritual is part of the structure.
It's like amateur dramatics, and people who want to learn and act out playlets, which is what we do, and do it in a word-perfect manner. That gives a lot of people great satisfaction.
Without the ritual, it would be quite boring to be a Freemason.
Brother Walsh, as you have passed through the ceremony of your initiation, let me congratulate you on being admitted a member of our ancient and honourable institution.
In Oxfordshire, sales engineer brother Josh Spencer is trying to master a 900-word piece of ritual known as the charge.
Ancient no doubt it is, as having subsisted from time immemorial, and honourable it must be acknowledged to be, as by natural tendency it conduces to make those so who are obedient to its precepts. The charge is designed to help the candidate newly admitted into Freemasonry understand what's expected of him. I really like to perform a good piece of ritual and give it with meaning and try and ensure that the person who is receiving it gets a benefit out of it, which I want to put across. I feel glad to have already kind of done the main learning. I'm now just polishing it. Being able to deliver that to a new candidate, I think, is really something special. My grandfather delivered my charge at my initiation, and I saw the tears in his eyes, so I know how powerful it can be when it's delivered well. There were tears in mine.
Tonight, Josh is attending his lodge's final rehearsal before the ceremony.
Gave me a laugh earlier on.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah, that's it.
I thought you might enjoy that. Yeah.
From a family of eminent Masons, Josh is currently senior warden, and at the age of just 25 is soon to become its worshipful master, the top man in the lodge.
Joshua is an excellent officer of the lodge. He's a fourth generation Freemasonry, and Joshua has been around Freemasonry almost from the day he was born.
Brother Senior Warden, would you please deliver the charge?
Oh, I'd normally... Certainly, Worshipful Master. Brother Walsh, as you have passed through the ceremony of your initiation, let me congratulate you on being admitted a member of our ancient and honourable institution.
We're trying to achieve the accuracy for the officers delivering the work. Like any performance, they know how well they've delivered that, and that's where they get the buzz from, ultimately nailing a piece of ritual.
Be especially careful to maintain in their fullest splendour those truly Masonic ornaments, which have already been amply illustrated. Benevolence and charity.
But it should be fun, the learning should be fun, the delivering of it should be fun. And it is.
I'm led to hope you will duly appreciate the value of Freemasonry and indelibly imprint on your heart the sacred dictates of truth, of honour and of virtue.
You deliver the charge extremely well. Just don't forget, part of this is timing. The candidate's hearing it for the first time. So just pause on moments of emphasis, you know where they are, and right at the end of it, every time you've delivered the charge, you get a little bit stuck on the closing edge. Just remember that bit. But other than that, super stuff. We've worked very hard on that, obviously. Yeah. Thanks. Happy? Yeah, all good? Yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, I think they were suitably pleased, so that was good. As you can tell, David has quite exacting standards, but I think we met those, so I'm happy for next week.
But if Josh is to meet his lodge's exacting standards, he must be word perfect in just 6 days.
Of your initiation, let me congratulate you on being admitted a member of our ancient and honourable institution.
Famous foreign Freemasons include Buffalo Bill, John Wayne, and many, many more. Sorry.
Famous foreign Masons include Houdini, Nat King Cole, Mozart, and others.
In Bedfordshire, dedicated Freemason Anthony Henderson is still digesting the news that he's soon to become the province's Grand Master.
The PGM, he is the head of the order within your province. He's someone to look up to. And when he comes to visit a lodge, it's a great occasion. The lodge feel very honoured about the presence of the Provincial Grand Master being there, and the brethren, you know, have something to aspire to.
I'm sure they're here. Here they are. Look, oh God, we're in trouble tonight.
This is Tony's mother lodge, where he was initiated 34 years ago.
Hello, Gina. Good, thanks. You? Excellent, yeah. Hello, John. Oh, yeah. Did you sort me fruit salad?
Yes, it's coming. It's
Thank you very much.
I bought one myself.
John. How's things? All
Good.
right.
You?
Dick.
What, Tony?
Keep well?
Yes, thanks. You?
Jolly good. You know what they say? It's not the cough that carries them off, it's the coffin they carry them off in. Hello, Jeff. How are you? All right. Good luck, mate. Nice to see you. Thanks, yeah. The thing I think will be different is when I come to lodge meetings, wear the new regalia, be Provincial Grand Master, be saluted in a different way, be looked upon by the brethren in a different way, I'm sure, but it won't change a great deal. It'll be, in fact, I'm hoping we shall enjoy the experience even more.
In just a few days' time, Tony will be officially installed and take over the running of the entire province.
Brotherly love. Right, let's go get ready.
Most Masons, when visiting a lodge, will request admission. As Provincial Grand Master, he demands admission. That's how important he is.
A brother that attains to such heights takes his Freemasonry very seriously. No brother will get that form of promotion if they're just willy-nilly with Freemasonry.
He's the boss, he's the man that guides the province, and he's appointed by London, by United Grand Lodge.
We are all equal, but as with most things, some are more equal than others.
This is the current Provincial Grand Master, who's in the centre at the back there. His predecessor is this one over here. It's a likeness, but it's not him. And he wasn't very pleased with it, I know. A bit disappointed when he saw it.
Tony has always been destined for the top. When the current Provincial Grand Master announced that he was standing down, everyone thought that Tony would be the man for the job if he wanted it.
These will change around, so Mike will be moved into a position over here, and then a picture of myself, I presume, they'll put somewhere in place of honour, which we haven't had done yet, so.
He will be a very good master. He's one of us.
And there's the chain I shall be wearing. And it'll be quite a heavy chain to bear.
In Oxfordshire, Brother Josh Spencer, the rising star of his lodge, is having a last run through the ritual he must deliver during an initiation ceremony later tonight.
Indeed, no institution can boast a more solid foundation than that on which Freemasonry rests.
This time with the help of girlfriend Naomi.
Justice. I think it's really important to deliver a piece of ritual to act as really an initial explanation and guide as to what is expected of them.
So do you do this charge when you're purely just initiating someone?
Yes. The initiation probably has about an hour's worth of work by other people beforehand, and then the kind of stage is set for me to deliver that.
Deliver this?
Yeah, that's it. So all eyes are on me at that point.
Oh, quite important then.
A little bit. I think the night of initiation is probably the most important for any candidate, and so we like to really make sure that it's the best night you can possibly have.
That's it. Cheers, good on you, mum. Without a gin and tonic, Mason ain't working.
Yeah,
Yes, that's right here.
Good evening.
Have a good evening.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it should be good.
Looking forward to it, are you?
Yes, should be good. Should be good.
The ritual involves members of the lodge acting out a short, symbolic two-act play. Josh's piece, known as The Charge, is the ceremony's big finale.
It's busier than I was expecting it to be, but this is good. I'm sure I'll rise to the occasion. Being able to deliver a piece like The Charge after initiation is really special. I don't think you can ever deny that. It's elating.
As always, the ceremony is for Masonic eyes only.
Masonry is a society regarded as having secrets, but they're not secrets that are horrible or sinister.
Freemasonry isn't a secret society. It is a society with secrets.
We try and keep bits of it secret because that makes it more enjoyable.
It's like having a surprise party and knowing everybody who's coming and what your gifts are. It's not going to be the same if it's not a surprise.
Right. Good evening.
Good night.
Yes.
Good night.
Very good. Well done. Thank you. I think it panned out well for everyone, really. Once you get to this stage and you've done the work that's required, then you just relax into it and enjoy the evening.
In Freemasonry, a meeting is always followed by a meal, known as the festive board.
The festive board at initiation is superb. You've got the entered apprentice, as he now is, sat next to the worshipful master, and there are sets of toasts which are given for various positions.
Brethren, worshipful master, be pleased to take wine with his ward.
So there's always a set order to the toasts during a festive board. The first half really is to do with the lodge and the evening and the people present.
The worshipful master would now like to take wine with all the provincial officers present. The worshipful master would be very pleased to take wine with our new initiate.
Those are followed by heartfelt toasts to the worshipful master for his work, and of course the visitors.
The worshipful master would now like us all to take wine with our new
And then the second half is more formal, so there's always a toast to the Queen and the craft as well.
Queen and the craft.
They'll toast His Royal Highness Duke of Kent.
Grand Master.
They'll toast Programme Master, Assistant Grand Master, and so on. There are toasts to the provincial or the metropolitan Grand Lodges as well.
Prince Grand Master.
After an initiation, there is a song to the initiate, and it's something that people normally within the lodge hold quite dear to their heart before they deliver it.
Come, let us prepare, we brothers that are assembled on merry occasion. Let's drink.
Let's drink, laugh and sing, our wine has a spring, here's a health to an accepted Mason. Let's drink, laugh and sing, our wine has a spring, here's a health to an accepted Mason. And it would go a little bit like that.
Then join hand in hand, to each other firm stand. Let's be merry and put a bright face on.
What mortal can boast so noble a toast than a free and unaccepted Mason?
good tip to tell every brother to try his apron on well before he goes to the lodge.
In Bedford, Tony Henderson has taken delivery of his newly restored Provincial Grand Master's apron.
Wow. Ooh. Don't capture that. Wow. Absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Wow. Who would have ever thought it? Wish my father was alive to see it today.
Tony's installation as Provincial Grand Master for Bedfordshire is just 24 hours away.
An installation for the province, it's a fantastic, massive occasion. You know, such a thrill for everybody, and it's a day of nervousness, a bit like the wedding day. This is it. There's no turning back.
The square and compasses are the universally recognised sign of Freemasonry. Originally, the square and compasses were used, of course, by stonemasons, but Freemasons view them symbolically.
The square represents square conduct as we go through our lives.
The compasses remind us to modify our conduct and to keep ourselves in due bound.
If you are a Freemason, you are said to be on the square.
Freemasonry is basically one big building analogy, but instead of working on a real building, you work on yourself, building character.
Worshipful brother Anthony Henderson has a date with destiny.
I can't believe the day's here already. Time has flown so quickly. I've got my regalia, got some cash, going to take my phone, gifts, end of.
Well, as long as you don't forget anything.
Well, I can always ring you up, can't I?
I'm at work. I've got to go to work.
Right, I'm just going to check the mirror.
It's worse than a woman.
Yeah, I'm nervous now, you see. We tend to lose sight of what's truly important in life and the right way to treat our fellow human beings. And that's the beauty of Freemasonry. There's no distinctions amongst men. They're all brothers together. And that is what the world should be about. See you, boy.
Have a lovely day.
Love
Enjoy
you.
yourself. Love you too.
See you, sir. I'll call you later. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. See you
I'll
soon.
try.
Today, at the Bedford Corn Exchange, with an audience of Masons from across the country, Anthony is to be installed as Bedfordshire's new Provincial Grand Master.
Looking forward to this afternoon, Steve. Thanks so much for being here.
The icing on the cake for Anthony and his Bedfordshire brethren is that the ceremony is being conducted by one of English Freemasonry's rulers.
Hello, I'm Jonathan Spence. How do you do? And
The
you?
Deputy Grand Master.
Hello, very nice to meet you. Hello.
But the provinces, if a ruler attends, I hesitate to say this, but they do seem to rather enjoy it.
Hello, how do you do? And you?
So too. And certainly the incoming Provincial Grand Master will want to make sure that their province performs very well so that London goes away with a very good opinion of how they do things ceremonially.
Right, enjoy it, enjoy it. Come on, do the grip.
All right, I think that'll do. Yeah.
Calm before the storm. Keep yourself. Vanity of vanity, all is vanity, saith the preacher.
This is the first time cameras have been allowed in to an installation ceremony.
You would advance the pedestal. place both hands on the volume of the sacred law, and you will read your obligation.
To order, brethren. I, Anthony Poole Henderson, in the presence of the Most High, and before this worshipful Provincial Grand Lodge of ancient, free and accepted Masons, regularly convened and assembled, do hereby and hereon most solemnly engage myself to accept the office of Provincial Grand Master of the Masonic Province of Bedfordshire.
You will seal that with your lips. Rise, duly obligated, Provincial Grand Master. Brother Anthony Paul Henderson, it gives me much pleasure on behalf of the Most Worshipful the Grand Master to invest you with your chain as Provincial Grand Master for this distinguished province of Bedfordshire.
I just wanted it to last for such a long time. And I wanted the moment to just go into real slow motion, but it all goes over so quickly, you know, so you think, oh, you want to sort of bottle it and savour it and then use it again and again and again and again and again. Yeah, it was a wonderful moment, and a wonderful moment. Wow, where can I go from here? Home.
Leadership is a very difficult thing, but you've got to remember, rather like Andrew Bonar Law said in the 1920s about the Conservative Party, I am their leader, I must follow them. A Provincial Grand Master not only has to have the vision of where he wants to take the province, but he has to remember to take his members with him.
Mike, as always, you've been a superstar.
Yeah,
Thanks so much.
congratulations, well done.
Have a great one. Thanks for being here, guys. Take care. Cheers, Keith. Cheers, soon.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Many people have said that Freemasonry will make good men better, and that certainly has been the case in my case, because I dread to think what sort of man I would have been if I had not had Freemasonry.
Do you pledge your honour as a man and your fidelity as a
In Oxfordshire, Josh Spencer is now worshipful master of his lodge, which means a lot more ritual to learn.
Paul!
While in Bedfordshire, for father and son, Edward and James Wotton,
Paul!
Masonry has done its work.
You ready? Yeah, go on then. Paul!
And at the Russell Lodge, Anthony is Provincial Grand Master of all he surveys.
Wow, look at this. God, who would ever have thought it? Yeah, place in history for a while now.
So mote it be, so mote it be. Shout out to all my brothers through Freemasonry. Let's meet on the level. I earned 3 degrees, had to kill me cause they couldn't get my secrets from me. So mote it be, so mote it be. Shout out to all my brothers through Freemasonry. Let's meet on the level. I earned 3 degrees, had to kill me cause they couldn't get my secrets from me.
Freemasonry, an ancient fraternity shrouded in mystery. With roots stretching back to the medieval stonemasons, its age-old traditions have remained virtually unchanged for centuries.
When people hear the word Freemason, they think about funny handshakes, they think about rolled-up trouser legs.
If you do a little bit of Googling, it's a cabal of people that are taking over governments and things.
Freemasonry, secrecy, secret society, 100%.
Now, as the Brotherhood celebrates its 300th anniversary, the United Grand Lodge of England is allowing the cameras in for the first time to reveal what really goes on behind closed doors.
Right, now, will you bugger off?
With unprecedented access, we lift the veil of secrecy to discover what it means to be a modern-day Freemason.
feeling a bit inadequate. It's a lot of fancy aprons, a lot of fancy aprons.
From the regalia...
My mum might say I look like a complete wally, but you can never please your mum.
Forward, brethren.
To the lavish ceremonies.
You will seal that with your lips.
And ancient rituals.
Do you have anything to give in the name of charity?
No.
All of the rituals that we do, which are like little plays, I love them.
And of course, the unbreakable bonds of brotherhood.
Have some of that, brother.
Describe it, you go, why would anyone want to do that? But once you're in it, you get it.
Some of the biggest Masonic conspiracies were that Freemasons were responsible for the assassination of JFK, faking the moon landing, and sinking the Titanic.
Is that true? Well, actually...
All of it, yeah. Yeah. We hold back the electric car as well.
In the heart of London's Covent Garden lies Freemasons Hall, spiritual home for the craft's 6 million members worldwide. Freemasonry is an intricate system of morality, and for nearly 20 years, worshipful brother Andrew Ross has been focused on one core value in particular, a belief that's enshrined in the very fabric of the building.
Well, that window here depicts prudence, and this one, temperance, and then this one over here, charity. And there's a rather nice passage that's given to every initiate on the very first day that he's made a Freemason, and he's charged with letting prudence direct you, temperance chasten you, fortitude support you, justice be the guide of all your actions, but be especially careful to remember those truly Masonic ornaments, benevolence and charity. And we're reminded of it even as we walk into this building. It's a nice bit of work, isn't it? Hello, George. When I became a Freemason over 40 years ago, I thought this was a rum affair. I wasn't at all sure what I was getting into. And over the years, it somehow got under my skin. It's the Lodge of Fortitude in Old Cumberland, number 12. And I'm very proud to be a member of it because it's one of the very first lodges. And we have records going back to about 1720, right from the very beginnings of Masonry in this country.
Today, Andrew and his brethren are welcoming new blood into their lodge. They're holding an initiation ceremony, the first of the 3 degrees a man must go through to become a fully fledged Master Mason. For the first time, they've agreed to show us a part of the initiation, in which the candidate, stripped of all valuables, is made to experience what it's like to have nothing.
You now stand, to all external appearances, a just and upright Mason. I shall immediately proceed to put your principles to the test by calling upon you to exercise the distinguishing characteristic of a Freemason's heart. I mean charity.
In that initiation ceremony, one's puzzled by the whole thing. The language is archaic. Some of it's absolutely splendid, some of it's a bit clumsy. But these words have meaning, are to be taken seriously. It's about integrity, it's about compassion for the needs of our fellow men.
Whatever you feel disposed to give, you should deposit with the junior deacon.
Do you have anything to give in the name of charity?
No.
Were you deprived of everything of value prior to entering the lodge?
Yes.
If you hadn't, would you have given freely?
Yes.
The natural response is to say, of course I'll give, but actually you can't because you've had it all taken away from you. You are in a helpless state. You can't do anything about it. And so you've actually got to think about that.
Should you at any time meet a brother in distressed circumstances, you will remember that peculiar moment when you came into Masonry, poor and penniless, and gratefully...
Despite this emphasis on charity and being charitable, it's probably not the first thing the general public associates with Freemasonry.
Secret society, Illuminati, sex scandals, match fixing.
It's a bit weird sometimes when I watch some of the things on the television, which they sometimes include Masonry. I mean, there was a Midsummer Murders. It got so much wrong for a start. Oh, I'm not a violent man, but sometimes you just scratch your head.
I've heard things about goats and drinking blood. How dare they? It's not goat's blood, it's sheep. Yeah.
Like many, 27-year-old Rowan Sham knew little about Freemasonry before his initiation 3 months ago. Today, he's preparing for an equally daunting ceremony, his marriage to Sharon, his girlfriend of 8 years.
Are you okay, Nero? Do you need any help?
Well, I like this, but I have to see what the missus says. If she'll allow me to wear it.
Is she the boss?
Yeah, well, she thinks she's the boss. Well, she is the boss. She's the boss, yeah.
So what made you want to join the Freemasons?
To be honest, I think it was mainly because of the secrets, you know. That's why I wanted to join. I wanted to learn about it.
Smile, maybe. We're getting married.
I used to watch YouTube videos, and I used to think, wow, how do I become part of this secret special society? I had this perception, if you're a Mason, you'll benefit in monetary terms. Yes, I'll try that on, please. I think I'll like that. Freemasons, some of them rule the world. I don't know, maybe one day I'll rule the world. I'm a Freemason now, from humble beginnings. Maybe in a few years I'll be a billionaire or a trillionaire.
With his dreams of untold wealth and secrets revealed, Rowan has thrown himself into Freemasonry, leaving fiancée Sharon to organise their wedding.
I ring him on Friday nights, oh, what are we doing tonight? And he'll be like, oh, I've got plans. I'm like, with who? And he's like, my friends. I'm like, what friends? He starts naming all these friends I've never heard of before. And I'm like, who the hell are they? He's like, oh, they're just my brothers. And I'm like, your brothers? Who, what brothers? And all these fancy restaurants which I want to go to, he's already been to it. Like, with who? With his brothers. So, I don't know.
Rowan's currently preparing to take his second degree. And tonight, he and his brothers are meeting for a final rehearsal, known as a Lodge of Instruction.
So this is Abbey Lodge, Westminster. I'm feeling the jitters, actually. But good jitters, good nerves.
If you pick him up and then...
The ceremony will see Rowan pass to the level of Fellow Craft, the second of 3 steps on the road to becoming a Master Mason.
Where were you first prepared to be made a Mason?
In my heart.
The only part of the ceremony that the candidate's allowed to know about before the big day is a section where they must recite the answers to 11 preset questions.
Name the grand principles on which the order is founded.
Brotherly love, relief, and truth. You have to undertake a lot of work, study. It's slightly daunting. Now, I'm not very good at learning lines. I'm not a very good actor. I used to be rubbish at drama at school.
How do you account for that which at first view appears a paradox?
The Earth is constantly revolving around its axis in its orbit, and the Sun is
being universally spread.
It's like an exam. You know, you have to go in prepared. If you go unprepared, then you don't really appreciate anything. And the Earth, excuse me.
Rowan has just 2 weeks to master the answers to these 11 questions.
Just upright men just upright and free men.
Despite what many people think, Freemasons using their Masonic membership for their own pecuniary advantage will be subject to Masonic discipline.
This is the apron worn by a second-degree fellow crafter.
The second degree is about how a Freemason lives his life.
The candidate is seen as symbolically coming of age.
Where We made a Mason in my heart.
At Freemasons Hall in London, entered apprentice Rowan Sham is preparing to go through his second degree ceremony.
My Masonic career is progressing very nicely. You know, I pretty much got everything to a T. So this morning, you know, before I woke up, after I woke up, trying to perfect everything.
What is the second degree? What does it mean?
Good question. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure.
For me, the importance of the second degree is it introduces the legend that lies behind craft Freemasonry, in that the building of King Solomon's Temple and the role of Hiram Abiff, the architect of the temple, who becomes enormously significant in the third degree.
A little bit nervous now, more nervous than when I was before. So, yeah, I'm just gonna start doing my breathing exercises just to settle the nerves down, yeah? Have you memorised your lines?
Yeah.
You know all of them? Off by heart?
But obviously I'm not gonna...
Well, it's good. It's better to be prepared than not be prepared, you know?
Yeah.
Brethren, shall we be upstanding to receive the worshipful master and his word?
The time has come for Rowan to demonstrate his mastery of the 300-year-old ritual.
Joe, the aprons that we get are not the bestest, are they?
Brethren, Brother Rowan Sham is this evening a candidate to be passed to the second degree.
The second degree is about your development as a Freemason, starting to learn your craft and to learn the secrets of Freemasonry.
You come in and you're an entered apprentice, a bit like when you're at school and you're not allowed to play in the big playground. And then, you know, you get to a certain age and then you're allowed to go and play in the big playground, and then when you get to the end of that process, you're allowed in the common room.
It's overlooked because a lot of people think, oh, it's just the middle one. You know, it's just a little bit, go through that then before we do the big one, before you become a master mason.
It looks at charity, it looks at intellectual improvement, it looks at bettering yourself.
After a 2-hour ceremony, Rowan emerges as a second-degree fellow craft mason, a step closer to reaping the rewards that come with being a fully fledged member of the Brotherhood.
When I first decided that I wanted to become a Mason, I thought that you get all these, you know, pecuniary benefits. And I said, look, I really want to become a Mason. And it was all about I want, I want, I want. And now it's not about I want, it's about, you know, I like, I enjoy. Oh, thank you very much, sir.
Oh, don't call me sir.
No,
you're a brother now.
Oh, thank you very much.
As Rowan joins his brethren at the festive board, it's clear the hard work he's put in has paid off.
Worshipful Master, distinguished brethren, brethren-in-all. Today we had 2 candidates for the passing. Weren't they good? They were led round. I often see candidates coming and struggle with the words. No problem with you two. You had done a lot of work. You were demonstrating that if you put something into Masonry, you're going to get it back. Yeah. And I'm sure that that is going to augur well for your long career with Masonry, and I wish you very much. Brethren, Masonry is safe with them, and it's safe with Abbey Lodge, Westminster. Thank you very much indeed.
Before I was a Mason, I didn't have patience, didn't have any tolerance, but it's helped reinvent myself. You know, be more appreciative about life, about giving. I'm still perfecting it, because as a Mason, you always want to progress. You want to continue to progress. It's all about self-improvement and being a better person and helping others.
key to the lessons of the second degree is that a Freemason should not only work hard to improve his own character, but also to benefit wider society. And in the basement of Freemasons Hall, there is an entire floor dedicated to doing just that.
You can let me in. Thank you very much.
Worshipful Brother Andrew Ross is a trustee of the Masonic Charitable Foundation, a central fund made up of contributions from Masons across the country.
The Masonic Charitable Foundation is now in the first rank of grant-giving charitable foundations in this country. And I don't think the general public has any idea that that's the case.
In 2015, of grants totalling around £20 million, nearly £5 million went to non-Masonic causes, like the Scout Association and Air Ambulance.
Give us a little bit more detail about the circumstances.
The remaining £15 million went to help Freemasons and their families, from hospitals to schools, or just individuals in need.
Some of these Masonic charities predate our welfare state by up to a couple of hundred years. So it's certainly part of our ethos to support our brethren.
It's this institutionalised support for fellow Masons that has led to accusations of unfairness and self-interest from those outside the Brotherhood.
The idea that Freemasons solely exist to look after each other is complete nonsense. Yes, there's a tradition of charitable giving to support the families of Freemasons. But you see, on top of that, we want to do what we can to make a difference in society. There are Freemasons lodges supporting causes all over the country, on top of what they contribute to the Masonic Charitable Foundation.
There's money raised at lodge meetings, raffles. There's money raised at social events, such as dinner and dances, family fun days.
When people say to me, what do Masons do then? So, well, charity. What do you do then?
Last night at the proms, riverboat shuffles, charity walks up Kilimanjaro.
And you sometimes wish you could go, that's what we've done.
Cycling from John O'Groats to Land's End, jumping out of aeroplanes, abseiling down buildings.
If you're trying to be charitable, you're not far wrong in becoming a very fine human being.
Is that enough?
In Gloucestershire, final preparations are being made for yet another money-raising event, a white-collar charity boxing match, organised by 35-year-old brother Alistair Chambers.
It's hard because you've got 30 people and you're trying to match them up as best as you can. 15 fights for the charity. Everyone's got their own individual charity. It's going to be really exciting.
The boss of a construction firm, Alistair is a third-degree Master Mason who joined the Brotherhood 5 years ago.
I was the youngest child, and growing up I was quite a selfish boy. Probably into some aspects still am, unfortunately, but that's something that in myself I'm sort of growing out of, and Freemasonry is about learning from those mistakes. I've always wanted peacocks. Had a much nicer male than him. Indian blue, lovely, and the fox ripped him apart.
You've clearly done all right for yourself. You've got nice pads, you've got peacocks. You're a self-made man?
No, just big debt.
10 seconds, come on, dig in! Fast punches, let's go!
For 10 weeks, the amateur boxers taking part in Alistair's charity fight night have been training hard at a gym he part owns.
I had my first white-collar boxing event September last year, raised over £600 for charity, and I enjoyed the experience so much that I wanted to be part of that and give people that opportunity to fight for the charity close to their heart. Sorry, Gabby, we're just going through names again. So we've got Gabby Hit-Girl Hancock, cancer research. It gives them that much more sort of encouragement and fight on the night. And it's a dog charity. All right.
This time, Alistair's not fighting, as he's awaiting surgery on an injured shoulder.
How's it going, Lee? You okay?
Instead, he's roped in 30-year-old painter and decorator and fellow Freemason Lee Green.
Names for the fight night.
Yeah.
We're going to go for you, then, Lee.
Oh, then what's me, mate? You pick.
No, I'll give you a helping hand, Lee. Lee. Wayne, you're good with names. You come and think of a name for Lee.
Lee the Grenade.
Do you like that?
That'll do.
Lee the Grenade Green. And what charity are you representing?
Whichever one you said to represent.
Oh, you're going to do Sparks for me? Oh, thanks for that, mate. Oh, it means a lot for me. No, cheers. Thanks a lot.
Alistair's charity involvement with them personally is phenomenal because his son had to be treated through them. When anybody has a tragedy in their family, I think it can either break you as a person or it can make you a stronger person.
When Alistair and Steph's son Harry was born, he was fighting for life and without oxygen for 20 minutes. The doctors gave him no chance of survival.
I just remember the consultant turning to me and saying, look, I'm really sorry. And they discussed ourselves going with Harry into a room they called the lavender room. And then they said there, then unfortunately I have to turn off the equipment, the machine. We'll probably get like 30 minutes with his body. I can remember looking out the 4th floor window to the pavement and wanting to climb out and jump out. Because the pain of this was so much that ending my life at that point looked a much better option.
After refusing to turn off Harry's life support machines, Alistair and Steph were approached by medical research charity Sparks. Trialling a new technique, they put Harry into a hypothermic state to give his brain time to heal. It saved his life.
Well, without this, I just really don't think there'd have been any hope for him. You know, they were just... He either wouldn't have survived that or he'd be severely disabled now. You know, we're really, really lucky. There are some parents that look at photos like this and that's what they've got. And that must be terrible for them.
Harry is now 7 years old and doing well.
Charity for me was a personal issue that's made me go into charity, and it's just great that it goes hand in hand with being a Freemason.
With the big night fast approaching, it's time for Alistair to reveal to the participants who they'll be fighting.
Right, first everyone, well done for getting here this far. As you know, a lot of people have dropped out. It's a hard journey. Even to get this far is such an achievement. Let's get some attention and more importantly, let's raise some money for charity and for your chosen charities. First match-up for the evening. Lee Green for the red team against Carl Pepper for the black team.
A bit nervous, of course, because I've never sort of really had a proper fight before. Hopefully don't beat me up too bad. It's bigger than me. I'll just put weights in my gloves. Quite unmasonic, but hey, winning's winning.
Masonic Lodge refers to the congregation of people that meet there, not just the name of the building.
The fundamental principles of Freemasonry are brotherly... The fundamental principles of Freemasonry are brotherly love, relief, and truth.
In Gloucestershire, it's the final training session before the big charity boxing gala.
Lee, come on, hurry up. Get moving, baby, come on. This is last week of your fight camp. Fix up and make sharp moves.
Despite an injured shoulder, event organiser Alistair Chambers is keen to lend a helping hand to fighter and fellow Freemason Lee the Grenade Green.
Hey Lee, when's your go? Wait a minute. I want to show you some love in a minute.
You should have seen my first go, man.
I want to show you some five-fingered love. Go on, Martin.
Yeah, ready? You'll go, go. Come on, Lee, take it. Let's go!
Some of that, brother.
For painter and decorator and avid Freemason Lee, tending his horses is a welcome break from getting beaten up for charity.
Come on, move, you know what I want from you. Yeah, typical. It is my little escape from absolutely everything, even from Freemasonry, because although I love to do it, it can be quite demanding if you're as involved as I am. And that's my choice to be that involved. You can't get anywhere if you don't work for it.
The ultimate aim of Freemasonry is to make good men better, And the second degree in particular teaches a man how life should be lived. But different brothers approach Masonry in different ways.
There's always somebody like me on the one end who wants to do any of the major works in the lodge, and then there's always somebody who's like Alistair.
Can't find my suit jacket.
I can't imagine him taking time out to read a ritual book.
I'm probably not the best organised Freemason out there. Can't find my black shoes and can't find my bow tie. I can't even find my briefcase. So I'll have to smuggle it in then. But as long as you don't tell anyone, it'll be fine.
He's a scatterbrain, isn't he? Doesn't never forgets his food though, does he? Never forgets to eat. And that's evident.
How much? So you... Oh, God.
Lee and Alistair are members of different lodges. But tonight, Lee has invited his bigger brother Alistair to attend a meeting at his, the Royal Gloucester Lodge.
Yeah, good, thank you.
There's a lady somewhere.
Follow you then, Lee.
Cheers.
Sorry, I can't help it. As long as you don't hang me with it, I'll be fine.
Lee's approach to Freemasonry is pretty different to mine. He really enjoys it. He does take it pretty seriously, which is good.
Great stuff. Hang on. Look at these.
There's a lot of work gets done in
Look
there.
at this. Look at mine. Look at that. It's a disgrace. But like slapping you with it. What was it? You just get slapped across the face.
I get my hands dirty. These are working man's gloves.
Lee is a Masonic SWAT to some degree. The wording he knows, the ritual he remembers, he's definitely sort of taking it all in. But for myself, I haven't got that time.
Alistair usually avoids any active role at meetings. But as Lee's guest, Masonic tradition demands that he deliver the visitor speech at the festive board.
Worshipful Master, Brother Wardens, distinguished brethren, and brethren all. Lee, as you're aware, is taking part in a boxing match, which he's actually putting the money raised towards a really, really important charity to me. I've got 5 children.
I'm not what you call a hardcore Freemason.
My youngest son had to have help.
Got quite a large business, so I don't want to do anything unless I do it properly. So until that time comes when I can sort of dedicate to it, I will do. And I just enjoy going along, watching other people do it.
Thank you very much, Worshipful Master, for such a splendid evening. Thank you.
Well done, Al. Well done.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's very kind. We're basically promoting as Mason versus mortal.
Perhaps surprisingly, Alistair's casual attitude to Freemasonry is precisely what is recommended.
The balance is quite simple. It comes family, work, Freemasonry. That's the order.
It can be a bit addictive, and you can join more than one lodge and as a consequence be out more than might normally be the case, which your other half might find objection to.
How can you justify that it takes up 2-3 evenings a week sometimes, and that you need to spend some time at home learning your ritual, if you do, and that can be a bit of a downer on any relationship.
The wives' thoughts are very varied. Some of them find it quite amusing. Others are quite casual about it and say, well, you know, at least I've got the TV controls now and, you know, you can just get on with it.
Family comes first. Family, business, they are more important than Freemasonry, but only just.
In London, members of the Friendship Lodge are gathering for their monthly meeting in one of the 23 lodge rooms at Freemasons Hall.
You all right, mate?
Yeah, good. You're good.
Yeah, I think so.
Gary Southam has only been a Freemason for 5 years, but is already worshipful master of 2 separate lodges.
The master is the boss, the ultimate Freemason in that room.
That's it, just under the lip of the collar, that's it.
It entails lots of hard work, and as my family will tell you, there's very, very few days where I don't do anything Masonically. Sad, really. It's not sad. Relax, you'll be fine.
But for Gary, Freemasonry is just the latest in a long line of pastimes that he's taken to extremes.
Good luck, everybody.
Before becoming a Freemason, adrenaline junkie Gary was a skydiver, base jumper, and motorcycle racer.
Whenever I get involved with something, I want to give my all or my 100% to it. I want to be the absolute best. Doesn't always work, but give it a go. There's very little in a man's life that will give him what Freemasonry gives him. It allows you just to take a step back and look at your life, reflect upon it, and you start then to getting into the whole thing, and it just becomes this whole way of life. Where were you first prepared to be made a Mason? In my heart. Where next? Convenient room adjoining the lodge.
Gary's currently focused on perfecting a second-degree ceremony he'll be conducting in a few days' time. As worshipful master, this means committing many pages of ritual to memory.
I would estimate that I've spent anything between 10 and 15 hours learning, reciting, going through the whole ceremony. And I'm sure there's lots of dog walkers around Surrey and Hampshire. They must think there's something wrong with me when I walk past, nod good morning and carry on chuntering away to myself.
The day Gary's been preparing for has arrived.
Don't fuck it up. Don't get it wrong. Oh, you'll be fine. Right, here we go.
But he's not the only one who's had lines to learn. The candidate is expected to have memorized the answers to 11 questions that test his Masonic knowledge.
It's the first time the candidate has had to learn the ritual. So there's an expectation that if you've been given this task, that you will do your absolute best to deliver it, and deliver it with the purpose that it should be delivered with. Let's just go through them once and that's it. Right. And if there's any stumbling, don't worry about it, just move on, okay? So if you can remember, where were you first prepared to be made a Mason? Move on. Where were you made a Mason? You just think you were in this and you're in here, weren't you? In the body of a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it's just going to be fucking awful if you're like this, and
Yeah.
I'm just going to get up and walk out. Now, what is Freemasonry? A peculiar system. Do I think they need to put the work in? No. No.
In the second degree, we're encouraged to study the liberal arts and sciences, and after all that, I've forgotten the second half.
These columns are either up or down, depending on whether the lodge is open or closed.
At Freemasons Hall in central London, a second-degree ceremony is about to begin, and the candidate is doing some much-needed last-minute revision.
So I've pretty much nailed in my heart the first question. The second one, in a convenient room adjoining to the lodge. Then I get stuck.
The ceremony will be conducted by worshipful master and Masonic perfectionist Gary Southam.
This is a square, and this is placed here because when he takes his obligation in the second degree, his left arm is supported in the angle of a square. And this whole ceremony is about squaring life and actions. So it's everything that he does in terms of his posture is done in the angle of a square. You have to excuse me, I just need to go and get ready.
For the last time, the candidate wears the plain white apron of the entered apprentice. As a man advances in Freemasonry, his apron becomes increasingly elaborate to show his progress and rank.
I'm just going to sit down, mate. What? You're just going to sit down.
Sit down where?
Inside.
Oh, right. Okay.
Anywhere.
I
But
don't need my gloves, though, do I?
you need gloves? Oh, yeah, yeah.
I need gloves?
Yeah, you need, that's it.
I was told I didn't.
Yeah, you do.
Right.
You need everything. And the answers to the questions, you particularly need those. It'll be fine. Possibly go wrong.
As always, the ceremony is conducted in private, but today, the Lodge of Friendship has agreed to show us one crucial part: the questioning of the candidate.
Where were you first prepared to be made a Mason?
In the heart.
Where next?
In a convenient room adjacent to the lodge.
Adjoining. It's not adjacent, it's adjoining. Where were you made a Mason?
In the body of the lodge. Just perfect and regular.
What is Freemasonry?
Peculiar systems of moral. Try again. A peculiar system of moral. No.
I know the type of person he is. I know how confident he is normally. And he just went to pieces. So, what is Freemasonry?
A peculiar system of morality veiled in allegory and illustrated by signs.
Disappointed, of course, you know, obviously, but Freemasonry isn't about having expectations of people, really. You know, all I asked that he could do his absolute best. But one thing that should happen is if you are going to say you're going to do something in a Masonic temple, that you put the work in to do it. But it's another part of my Masonic education.
The second degree instructs a Mason how to live his life. But to put its teachings into practice, he'll require discipline, hard work, and a genuine desire to improve himself.
The wrong reasons for joining Freemasonry are the same today as they've always been. If you're thinking about in monetary terms or career terms or financial terms, but if you're hoping to gain something from it personally, then you're going to the right place.
Masonry is an experience, it is a journey, and it sounds very much like a sect. I'm kind of afraid to even say that, but Masonry is about discovering life as it is and making it ever so slightly better.
It's enabled me to sort of take things to another level with things like charity and giving to other people. And the more you give, the more you get.
At Cheltenham Town Hall, the day of the charity boxing event has arrived. And though event organiser Alistair may not give his all to Masonic ritual, tonight will be the culmination of months of preparation.
Stressful, so much to do. Just trying to get my head around what needs to be done, what hasn't been done. Don't even worry about doing them as well as you're doing them. Just get the wrinkles out of them because you've got these red things going on them.
I hadn't eaten all day. I've been up since 6 o'clock in the morning, literally setting everything up. But charity-wise, you want it to be a success because everyone's giving and everyone's giving to a charity, and it's not necessarily a charity for them.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Fighting to raise money for Alistair's chosen charity is his friend and fellow Freemason, Lee the Grenade Green.
You've spent the last 12 weeks suffering, going to training, dieting. Nobody likes to eat broccoli and tuna all day. You don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Lee the Grenade Green!
In the audience, a table full of Freemasons from Lee's lodge, including his dad, have come to cheer on their brother.
Grenade Green.
Yes, Lee, good. Yes, Lee, come on, Lee! Finish him!
It is a brutal thing, but it's not just to have a fight on a Saturday night. There is a meaning and a reason behind why you've put yourself through those 12 weeks, and Masonry is a part of that.
A big round of applause, please. Our unanimous decision, it is a draw. Please show your appreciation for Lee the Grenade Green.
It was a draw. Wasn't happy with the draw. I thought I won, I'll be honest. But the main reason I did it was to help out Masonry, help out charity, with Alistair, and that's what matters to me personally.
But the night is far from over. At the last minute, one of the fighters has dropped out, and his opponent, who's raising money for his chosen charity, still wants to compete. For Alistair, the real hard work is about to begin.
On the fighting, last fight, because somebody's dropped out, last fight maybe, yeah. Do you know that? Has anyone got a spare gun shield?
I see Alistair going off to the back, and I think, where's he going? So I follow him out, and I'm like, what's going on now? I've got to step in. I'm going to fight him. Hey! Alistair was due to have shoulder surgery, and he hadn't trained at all. That takes some melons to do that. It really does. I'd say a guy who steps in and gives it everything he's got, he is a good Freemason, because it shows somebody who's not selfish.
I like to think that Freemasonry's sort of given me like a second string of morality. It's just like another stepping stone in your personal development. Get yourself right, then help others. That's the mentality of it.
Go walk the hoop. One second. Get your breath back first. Choke.
And there's a time in the fight where I was like, don't even want to be here. And I saw his eyes, and he was like, not really too sure if I want to be here either.
It was just like a fight you'd see uptown by two drunk guys brawling. It was like watching Rocky, you know what I mean? You know, he gave it everything. He won as well. And that was a really good moment. It is inspiring, and it does mean a lot to me personally to see him like that.
The night from start to finish was mentally, physically exhausting. It was hard. It was part of the bigger picture. Altogether, the pot of money, a grand total pot, was over £8,000 into various different charities. Now, ultimately, is a massive success.
I'm tired. I want to go to bed.
So mote it be, so mote it be. Shout out to all my brothers through Freemasonry. Let's meet on the level. I earned 3 degrees, had to kill me cause they couldn't get my secrets from me. So mote it be, so mote it be. Shout out to all my brothers through Freemasonry. Let's meet on the level. I earned 3 degrees, had to kill me cause they couldn't get my secrets from me.
Freemasonry, an ancient fraternity shrouded in mystery. With roots stretching back to the medieval stonemasons, its age-old traditions have remained virtually unchanged for centuries.
When people hear the word Freemason, they think about funny handshakes, they think about rolled up trouser legs.
If you do a little bit of Googling, it's a cabal of people that are taking over governments and things.
Freemasonry, secrecy, secret society, 100%.
Now, as the Brotherhood celebrates its 300th anniversary, the United Grand Lodge of England is allowing the cameras in for the first time to reveal what really goes on behind closed doors.
Right, now, will you bugger off?
With unprecedented access, we lift the veil of secrecy to discover what it means to be a modern-day Freemason.
I feel a bit inadequate. It's a lot of fancy aprons, a lot of fancy aprons.
From the regalia...
My mum might say I look like a complete wally, but you can never please your mum.
Forward, brethren.
To the lavish ceremonies...
You will seal that with your lips.
...and ancient rituals.
Do you have anything to give in the name of charity?
No. All of the rituals that we do, which are like little plays, I love them.
And of course, the unbreakable bonds of brotherhood.
What's that, brother?
Describe it, you go, why would anyone want to do that? But once you're in it, you get it.
You know the New Year's song, Auld Lang Syne? That's Masonic. You know, take my hand. There's a second verse which goes, take my hand, my trusted brother, and sing along with me. Du, 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 du. Yeah.
6 million men across the globe are members of the world's oldest fraternity. For some, it provides a social network, a moral code, or a reassuring sense of order. For others, it's just a good meal out with mates. But whatever their reasons for joining, as they're immersed in Freemasonry's traditions, they're bound together by ritual and sacred oaths to become brothers. One of Masonry's biggest brothers is Pro-Grand Master Peter Lowndes, second only to the Grand Master, His Royal Highness, the Duke of Kent.
I'm afraid people are going to have to listen to me for a bit in the usual way, but I'm probably going to be speaking for a little bit longer than usual myself.
Today, Peter summoned his fellow rulers to finalise plans for one of the year's key events, quarterly communication, where the big decisions regarding Freemasonry are made.
We meet 4 times a year. Without the quarterly communications, we really actually couldn't run Freemasonry. And then everybody will have heard enough of me and we can retire for lunch.
Processing these Masonic titans into the Grand Temple and choreographing the entire event is the considerable responsibility of the Grand Director of Ceremonies.
Brethren, would you like to take a seat, please?
The aptly named Oliver Lodge.
Unless you're guest speakers, you're in the wrong seat.
It's my job to direct Grand Lodge. So that means that it's for me to make sure that everybody knows what they're going to do and that they're in the right place at the right time.
I need to be able to deal with the situation if something goes wrong.
You're on your way in at the back at the moment, is that right? In which case you'll no doubt want to have the end seat rather than one in.
Being Grand Director of Ceremonies in the United Grand Lodge of England is, without question, the best job in the whole of world Freemasonry, because everybody has to do what you tell them to do.
Over the past 9 years, Oliver has presided over more than 40 major ceremonies.
Right, brethren, let us do simple things well, such as remaining in step, so that this looks impressive. Right, let's try it. Heads up, you're Grand Stewards now.
At this time every year, Oliver must break in a new team.
Shambles at the back. You don't need to get very close to the man in front. It will just make it difficult for you to step off later.
The purpose of the ceremonies is to be impressive.
Not quite so good at the back.
I was in the army for half a dozen years. Like all officers, I spent a while at Sandhurst in advance, doing a lot of drill and other bits and pieces.
Be seated, brethren. No, sit first 1 second. It's still not out of its stand. Now it is. You're with us.
Here you see the Grand Master or the Pro-Grand Master presiding over Grand Lodge. So it is a symbol of the structure that we have. The procession and the whole ceremony is a symbol of the worldwide brotherhood, which is Freemasonry.
To become a fully fledged member of this worldwide brotherhood, every Mason must first go through the most powerful of all Masonic rituals, the 3rd degree.
Craft Freemasonry is divided into 3 degrees. The 1st degree deals with your birth, the 2nd degree deals with your time in this world, and the 3rd degree deals with your departure from this world.
Learning about the fact that one day you'll die, that's what makes the 3rd degree even more poignant.
Nobody who does that ceremony, or goes through that ceremony, if it is done well, will forget the experience.
Although I do play a mean Rowan Keating, but I'll avoid that. I can't sing. What else can I do? hero in Greek Iglesias. No, that went wrong.
25-year-old Gary Hacking will soon go through his third degree and become a Master Mason. He lives in Bolton with his girlfriend, Laura.
I'm not singing the rest of it, ever. Would you dance if I asked you to? No, go away.
As a full-time nurse, Gary works alongside 50 women, so was in search of male company. He joined the Freemasons 9 months ago.
I moved away from my friends in Bury, moved somewhere else, and then it's very hard to maintain that sort of male bonding, which I know some people say sounds quite wet, but I think men do need other men to associate with. It's part of life. And as great as the women I work with are, and as amazingly funny and social as they are, you sometimes just need a bit of that man-to-man bonding time, really.
For months, Gary's been consumed with preparing for his third degree ceremony and learning his part in the secret ritual, which has remained virtually unchanged for 300 years.
I'll have to answer some questions, but I have to get them right, obviously. And then from there, they will then proceed to sort of raise me to the third degree. But getting these questions, the language is a bit sort of archaic, so it's very hard to try and get your head around it. You want to get it right though, because you carry on the tradition. It shows that you've put the time, you've put the effort in, and that you're interested.
I keep asking him questions about it, and he's like, "I'm not allowed to tell you. I don't know. Stop asking me questions." And then he'll randomly run out of the room. You can hear him muttering to himself. And then he'll come back and I'm like, "Who are you talking to?" It's like, "Oh, just Mason stuff." And I get really annoyed because he won't tell me what it is.
But tonight, Laura's being allowed a first glimpse inside Gary's secret world. He's taking her to a Masonic ladies' night.
You know you've got to kiss the Grandmaster, don't you?
No.
Yeah, with Tom.
It's
It's part of the ritual.
I highly doubt that's part of the ritual.
I've got to do it, you've got to do it.
Oh, you can go first then. Show me how it's done.
Tonight's event is being held here at Bolton Wanderers Football Club.
Oh, I didn't print the tickets out. Oh!
The annual Grand Ball has been running for 156 years, and this is the first time that non-Master Masons like Gary have been invited.
It's a lot of fancy aprons. A lot of fancy aprons. This is like the Masonic equivalent of penis envy.
In Freemasonry, the apron signifies rank. Gary's currently second degree, so he wears the slightly underwhelming Fellowcraft apron.
Ladies and brethren, will you please stand to receive the President of the 156th Grand Masonic Festival and Ball, Right Worshipful Brother James Anthony Harrison, and Mrs. Maureen Harrison.
Ladies' nights in Masonry are not only a chance for long-suffering wives and partners to see what their men get up to, they're also meant as a thank you for their indulgence and support. The climax to the evening is the 150-year-old Grand March, when over 1,000 Master Masons and their partners parade around the ballroom, though no one really knows why. Tonight is one of the last events Gary will attend as a second-degree Fellowcraft Mason.
It's been a dream of 11 years to be a Master Mason. I don't know what's going to happen. Everyone keeps telling me it's like a really good ceremony. So I'm looking forward to it. A bit scared, but excited at the same time, because it's just going to be the fulfillment of something that I've been wanting to do for years. That experience that you have in that third degree ceremony might change you forever. When I go through the third, it's going to be big.
This is the apron of a third degree Master Mason. No, bugger. No.
The basic story of Freemasonry is the building of King Solomon's temple, and it's from that story that we take our ritual.
In Bolton, it's the day of Nurse Gary Hacking's 3rd degree ceremony, when he hopes to be raised to the rank of Master Mason.
In here is the final thing for the 3rd degree. Are you allowed to see in this? You are, right, okay. So, tie, gloves, and then this last month was the final time I'll have to wear that. That's the apron of a fellow craft. You've seen that before, I'm sure, by now, but this is what I've been waiting to wear for some time. So this is the apron, oh gosh. This is the apron of the Master Mason. This has been encased in there for a good 6 months now. Just waiting to crack this out, I can't wait. Really excited. And as soon as you do that, not even kidding. Business. You mean business.
The 3rd degree is the most powerful, most secretive, and most dramatic of all Masonic rituals. In it, the candidate is put through a reenactment of the legend upon which all Freemasonry is based. The murder of Hiram Abiff, the stonemason responsible for the building of King Solomon's temple, killed for refusing to divulge the secrets of a Master Mason.
What time are we kicking off now? 6:30. Right, I've got enough time to neck half a pint.
Nothing can prepare you for the 3rd degree. It is mind-blowing.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. You ready for tonight?
Nervous.
165, please. Yes. Nothing to be nervous about.
I know.
By the end of tonight's ceremony, Gary will have been made to come to terms with his own death.
I'm totally nervous. Is this time the rumour's going to be true where they're going to whip out a goat? Or is this time going to be the time I need clean boxers? You know, you never really know what you're actually going to be doing. Nervous, pal. No. Why is there a sheet on floor?
Oh, you'll find out.
What's that about, mate? It's real now. It's proper real.
Please be upstanding to receive the Worshipful Master and his wardens.
To preserve the mystery and drama for future candidates, the 3rd degree ceremony must remain secret.
The 3rd degree, although it deals with death, is not a morbid ceremony at all. Quite the opposite. It's an enlightening ceremony. It looks at your departure from this life and your rebirth into life in the future.
You, as a brother, experienced something which happened to our master, Hiram Abiff, being slain.
There is a grave, and in this country, that grave is always empty and has the emblems of mortality displayed upon it.
Rebirth comes into it very strongly because you're brought back to life, as it were, within that ritual.
In Ireland, somebody is actually lowered into a grave, as they do up in Cambridge, and they walk across the top of the grave while a gong sounds. It's preparation for a time so that you will indeed live respected and die regretted.
Part of the ceremonies is understanding that your life is finite and you have to deal with that in your own way. If you considered the fact that you're going to die, would you not make the most of that life, knowing with the emotional intelligence that you were going to die eventually? And that's what it gave for me. You know, I work with death all the time. It's a sad part of life, but it's a part of life nonetheless. At that profound moment, if you sit there and take it in, you know that you've got to spend the next however long you've got of your life making the absolute most of it.
Hiram Abiff, the master stonemason at the centre of the 3rd degree ceremony, is a minor biblical character around whom Freemasonry has constructed their entire building analogy. In Masonic circles, he's also known as the widow's son. These hairy bikers are all Freemasons. They're known as the widow's sons. Members must have passed through their third degree ceremony and be fully fledged Master Masons. But as the sons gather for one of their charity bike rides, there's one notable absentee. Their leader, Peter Younger.
Raised a Freemason, branded a widow's son. The pinnacle of my Freemasonry was joining the Widow's Sons. It's just a brilliant organisation. The strength of friendship is just unbelievable. And it's some of the happiest times of my life has been through its membership. And although I've put an awful lot into Widow's Sons, what I've gained back from it's just been immeasurable.
But recently, outings with his biking brothers have been rare. Just before Christmas in 2015, while out with his wife, Anne-Marie, tragedy struck.
This is Anne-Marie and I. This was actually taken just before she collapsed. We were at a black tie Christmas function. We hadn't been there long, we'd gone to the bar, reception drinks, and we're walking along to the dining room, and we stopped for a photograph to be taken. And just as the photograph was taken, she says, "I don't feel well," and she collapsed. She was taken off into her recovery room, and I never saw her again, alive. And then you're faced with how to tell a 7-year-old that she's lost her mum, which is the most difficult thing I've ever had to do in my life.
Anne-Marie had suffered a heart attack. Ever since, Peter's focus has been on helping his daughter Amy come to terms with their loss.
First, I'm going to tell you about this necklace here, which is all the things are connected to a memory about her. So this is love, that is jewellery, that is hugs.
Supporting brothers in need is a fundamental principle of Freemasonry, and Peter and Amy have not had to cope alone.
The Widow's Sons and the Freemasons were incredible. I mean, Anne-Marie died on the 12th of December. It was the day of Amy's birthday party. It couldn't have been a more tragic time. But Christmas Eve, when there's a knock on the door and there's two smiling faces standing there with a car full of presents. That was the Widow's Sons and also members of my lodge. We could barely get in the lounge on Christmas Day morning for the amount of presents stacked up behind the door. It was just amazing to see her happy, and it had been probably the first time since it happened.
The Brotherhood has not only provided emotional support for Peter, they've also helped out with childcare and counselling.
Me and Mum had a little competition. I won a pug. Do you want to see it? It has to look like that.
We have the energy from those good times to take us forward, and a lot of Amy's counselling has been based around that. And that has been the tonic for me, and that's what's kept me going as well.
After such a devastating loss, Peter's only now feeling ready to get back in the saddle and out on the road with his brothers.
Beautiful.
The bond that exists between men in Freemasonry is really our brotherhood. Your friends, your colleagues in the lodge are your brothers.
The bond between Freemasons is unique. I don't think there's any other organisation that's quite the same.
If somebody does become upset, then it's kept within the lodge, and then they can come out strengthened. It's been valuable to me, and I know many others.
You know, I'm a brother, they're my brothers, I'm their brother, so we kind of just get on with it. And you know, it's all, for me, it's for life.
Brotherhood is woven into the very fabric of Freemasonry. In London, Freemasons Hall itself is a monument to this belief in comradeship. It was built as a lasting memorial to the 3,000 English Masons who died during the First World War.
The United Services Lodge, the Old Wellingtonian Lodge, and Tow Law Lodge, a lodge which comes from a small town in County Durham.
When the war ended in 1918, 350 new lodges were set up as traumatized ex-soldiers sought out Freemasonry to recreate the camaraderie they'd experienced in the trenches. Grand Director of Ceremonies, Oliver Lodge, is himself an ex-army officer.
I think there is an appeal because there is that fellowship of men, but also there is a sense of order about Freemasonry. And so in some respects, that reflects service life. Many servicemen serving and retired become Masons. That is the case now, and it was the case before.
One typical example is painter, decorator and Northern Soul enthusiast Dave Stubbs, who became a Freemason after a career in the army.
A lot of people would join Masonry for their own reasons. Mine is that sort of sense of belonging.
Dave left school at 16 and spent the next 20 years as a soldier, serving in war zones all over the world.
One of the places I did go was to the first Gulf War, and that picture there is me as a young man, and that was a certificate of commendation that I received for services in the Gulf.
But like many ex-servicemen, Dave struggled to adjust to life back on Civvy Street.
That support structure's gone. You're on your own, and you're the one who sits up at night time in the dark, and there's nobody to talk to, and you feel thrown away. Just feel thrown away. The military was a big part of my life. Looking back in retrospect, you know, it's got that similarity, that parallel with Freemasonry, you know, brotherly love and, you know, friendship and looking out for each other.
Dave has thrown himself into Freemasonry and is about to be rewarded for his dedication to the Brotherhood. He's been nominated to become Worshipful Master, effectively the boss of his lodge.
I'm very proud of him. I think he's a brilliant Mason. For the length of time he's been in Freemasonry, he's done very well to get to Worshipful Master at this stage. He always looks smart, always presents himself wonderfully, and I think it's going to be a big buzz for him, to be honest. So I can't wait to see the smile on his face when he comes out of lodge that day. So.
My granddad used to say, you know, you can tell a man by the tie he ties and the shoes he shines, and I just think, you know, as when you're wearing a suit, especially on a Masonic occasion, you should make every effort to look as smart as you can. In particular, you know, me going into the chair as the Worshipful Master is a case of setting an example.
Dave's a member of Old Ben Lodge. At the moment, he's at the nomination stage. And today, there's a meeting to give his brethren a chance to voice any last-minute objections.
Brendan, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here.
He's still, to use an old expression, he's still wet behind the ears, and he's going to mature into the role.
Handling proceedings is Old Ben's Director of Ceremonies, Phil Niblock.
The role of a master in a Freemasons lodge is to maintain the standards of his lodge. That's important, and I get involved in that to remind him, if necessary, what those standards are. But he's there to lead.
Worshipful Master, it's the highlight of your Masonic career, you know, the cornerstone, if you like. Sometimes you sort of say to yourself, I don't think I'm really worthy, and etc., and you try and talk yourself out of it, but I think, you know, there was men before me, there'll be thousands of men after me, and I can know now that, you know, my name has definitely been written in history. Here's the Freemasons all there, look. You see it? The tower.
The third degree involves close questioning, which is where the term giving someone the third degree comes from.
The top man in the lodge is the Worshipful Master, who always sits in the east to represent the rising sun.
Today, in Shrewsbury, Gulf War veteran Dave Stubbs is attending a lodge meeting where he's hoping to be confirmed as the worshipful master.
It gives the opportunity for any of the brethren to say yes or no.
Brethren, we'll take item 8 on the agenda. Unless there is a nomination or any brother calls for a ballot to declare the senior warden, Brother David Stubbs, as worshipful master-elect for this lodge for the ensuing year. Are there any other nominations? As there is no other nomination, I declare that Brother David Stubbs is our worshipful master-elect for the ensuing year.
Worshipful Master, Brother Wardens, distinguished brethren all, I thank you for your mark of confidence in me, and I look forward to upholding the customs and the traditions and the fine work that you've set for me to follow in the ensuing year.
Brother Organist will now sing the closing ode.
As top man in the lodge, Dave will be expected to keep order during meetings, lead the rituals, and decide which charity the lodge will support. He'll be officially installed next time the lodge meets.
I'm just very, very proud to be part of something that does nothing but look after its own. It certainly focuses on that brotherly love and all the aspects of humankind. Humankind, it's good.
In Newcastle, Widow's Son's leader Peter Younger is also looking forward to a big day. Since losing his wife, his motorbiking brothers have taken a back seat.
Due to recent events, I have been able to get out on as many rides as I would like to, but I always make sure that that one date in the year, every year, the Widow's Son's National Rally, come hell or high water, I will be able to attend.
Today, with daughter Amy staying with friends, Peter can hit the road.
Life throws many things at you. For some people, they might hit a bottle of whiskey. For other people, they might go out for a meal. For me, to climb on board a motorbike is just incredible. Moments when you're on a motorbike and you see 15 to 20 people on bikes in front of you and the same number behind you, and then suddenly you think, Struth, they're all Masons. That's quite a moment. The best thing about the Widow's Sons I personally have experienced is just the people I've met through it. The term brother comes from the ceremonial side of it, but they're more like family.
Obviously, I've known Peter for quite a long time, and I've known Amy since she was born. Over the last few months, since Anne-Marie's died, I mean, Amy's pretty much been Peter's rock. Obviously, also, he's been her rock as well, which has been an absolute godsend for Peter. Chokes people up when you tell them, you know, to be fair, chokes me up as well. We're all big soft shites.
They're a great bunch. But the thing is, what's amazing about this is, you see them standing here and they're dressed in leathers and jeans and boots and all this sort of thing. But if they were standing in a lodge in a full regalia, nobody would know that they did this. You know, they seem like polar opposites, but in fact they're very, very close and very, very similar.
To all poor and distressed brethren, wheresoever they may be, on the land, sea, or in the air. Out to brethren! Out to brethren!
At Freemasons Hall in London, 1,400 of the Brotherhood's leaders are assembling for their quarterly communication.
When you see the end of the column go past you by a couple of yards, that's the moment for you to proceed and follow them.
Okay, let's get clad.
The man leading the lavish ceremony is Peter Lowndes, the Pro Grand Master, English Freemasonry's second in command. Despite appearances, quarterly communication is really just a run-of-the-mill business meeting.
Anything that's done for Freemasonry has to be voted on and passed and agreed by Grand Lodge.
So why bother with all the pomp?
Why do we have the changing of the guard? Why do we have the Queen's Birthday Parade? Why do we have any of these things? Of course, they're not essential. Brethren coming together at meetings and the camaraderie that it produces that really interests me.
Brethren, I have to announce that the Most Worshipful Grand Master has made the following appointments. Worshipful Brother Ian Chandler as Provincial Grand Master for Surrey in succession to Right Worshipful Brother Eric Stewart Bamford, who retired on 24th of May.
It's one of the few organisations that I've been involved with where I think everybody is on everybody else's side. Now, you can't say that in every organisation. There's often backbiting, hoping somebody will fail so you can take their job. Just simply doesn't happen.
We're coming to the end of the current Masonic season. Enjoy the summer break, and I look forward to seeing you again in September. Thank you very much.
A little further down the Masonic hierarchy, in Shrewsbury, it's a big day for Gulf War veteran Brother Dave Stubbs. He's about to become the worshipful master of his lodge.
I think he's unnecessarily nervous, to be honest. I think he'll be absolutely fine. I have every faith in him. Well, the first time Dave came in the pub dressed in his Masonic stuff, and I thought, oh. Didn't see many men in the pub in a three-piece suit, I tell you. But, yeah.
Dave's been working towards this moment since he first joined Freemasonry 8 years ago.
I think I'm going to be quite overwhelmed in some ways because, you know, the support that I've got and the people that were attending today, like I say, they're looking out for me, and I think I'm going to be quite overwhelmed and quite touched. See you later.
Have a good day, you'll be fine.
I know.
Yeah,
All right. Love you too.
Bless you.
See you later, Bob.
Take care.
The basic principles of Freemasonry are that all men are equal within the lodge, which is why we call each other brother.
In the lodge room, you will find a black and white squared carpet. This represents our checkered existence, happiness and sorrow, life and death. Was that all right? I look away a bit there.
Former Lance Corporal Dave Stubbs, veteran of the First Gulf War, painter and decorator, and dedicated Freemason, is about to be made the 24th Worshipful Master of Old Ben Lodge in Shrewsbury.
You're well on your way, and you just sort of get your heart pumping a little bit, you know, a little bit of that sort of positive adrenaline that you need to prepare yourself. Hello, it's Dave Stubbs. Well, I've got a small amount of nerves, as it were, but I think, like, nerves are important because they keep you sharp, and I'm definitely going to have an audience there, and it just means a lot to me personally to get things right and make the ceremony go the way it should do, and good, high-quality ritual.
It's an immense day for David, because it's his special day, and we're going to make it as special as we possibly can.
Very happy for him. He's worked hard for it as well, you know. Couldn't put a better bloke in the chair.
Please be upstanding to receive the worshipful, the immediate past master of the Old Ben Lodge, number 9461, accompanied by the warden.
During this 2-hour ritual, Dave will receive a new apron, a new collar, and a gavel. Later, his name will be engraved on Old Ben's Master's board.
Worshipful Master, you having been installed in the chair of this worthy and worshipful lodge, cannot be insensible to the obligations which devolve on you as its head, or to your responsibility for the faithful discharge of the duties annexed to the appointment.
These ancient words remind the new master that his conduct must always meet the standards expected of the leader of a lodge.
You will be enabled to lay up a crown of joy and rejoicing, which will continue when time with you shall be no more. And may God give you strength and health to perform the duties of your high office with satisfaction to yourself and advantage to your lodge. So mote it be.
I could almost describe it as being the same sense of pride as when I first put my regimental headdress on. You know, passed out the British Army and wearing the Queen's uniform. And likewise, as a worshipful master, I have that same amount of pride. I feel well and worthy.
David, congratulations.
Cheers, Dave.
Really
You're a
pleased.
top man.
Yeah.
Cheers. Cheers, my
Brother
friend.
David.
That's it, thank you.
My day, a very, very special one, which is certainly written in my heart for as long as I'll ever remember, that's for a fact.
Dave's first role as worshipful master is to preside over the lodge's post-ceremony banquet, known as the festive board. It's Director of Ceremonies and close friend Phil Niblock's job to deliver the toast to Old Ben's new master.
I want just to very briefly give you an insight to this fine young man. Early in his life, 1986, he joined the armed forces. He transferred to the Assault Pioneer Regiment. These are people who are first there and last out, and that is an amazing, amazing attribute. He has received a commendation from the Royal Humane Society for bravery. He got that by saving somebody's life. Wow. Worshipful Master, you're a good man. You're a brave man. And I think there's a great deal of room, and you've noticed this as well, in Freemasons lodges for those who serve their country. Enjoy your year, Worshipful Master. It's not going to last very long. Brethren, I demand you stand and drink a bumper toast to our Worshipful Master. Worshipful Master! Honours, brethren, point left, right, point left, right, point left, right. 1, 2. We have toast in the craft among others.
The way that Phil delivered his speech, it just sort of reminded me that I have done a few things in my life, and I'm not just Dave Stubbs, the painter and decorator, who gets dressed up in the morning and goes to work at 7 o'clock and comes home at 5.
Beloved by us all on the square, may your name in the craft with all honour be quaffed, and prosper the art everywhere. Get on that chair. Here's a health to our worshipful Master, beloved by us all on the square.
I just could feel the genuine brotherly love, you know, the genuine belief in me. And I was quite overwhelmed, really, by the whole experience.
The art everywhere.
I felt humbled, loved.
Brotherly love is at the heart of Freemasonry. But as all Masons are told, family should always come first.
Ready?
Yeah.
In Newcastle, chairman of the Widow's Sons Masonic Bikers Association, Peter Younger, is preparing his 7-year-old daughter Amy for her initiation into the biking fraternity.
Are you going to put the engine on?
No, we're just going to wheel it outside, see how we feel.
Oh.
Nice bike rest, how's that? Is that good?
Yeah. Oh, I feel nice now.
Try starting the engine.
No!
Go on, just a little bit.
No.
It won't be loud.
No!
It won't be loud with your helmet on.
No, just don't.
Don't?
Just don't.
Not even a little bit.
Just no.
We'll try something else instead.
No! Just put it back in.
We'll have to drive it in.
Oh. Okay.
Ready? Yeah, that's all right, isn't it? How's that? Do you want to try going a bit further?
Yeah.
Come on in.
Oh my God.
Come on, you're doing it. Hey!
Woo! I'm scared.
I think getting through recent events would have been considerably more difficult without the support of Freemasonry and the Widow's Sons. My challenges now with Amy are really just trying to give her a normal life and just trying to be there for her as a good dad.
I can't believe Mum's watching this.
She will be.
I think about Anne-Marie every day. I don't think that'll ever change. Those poignant moments where you know she would have enjoyed it. We're not going to go far on a bike, but it's just something you can enjoy together. So we'll see what happens next.
So mote it be, so mote it be. Shout out to all my brothers through Freemasonry. Let's meet on the level. I earned 3 degrees, had to kill me cause they couldn't get my secrets from me. So mote it be, so mote it be. Shout out to all my brothers through Freemasonry. Let's meet on the level. I earned 3 degrees, had to kill me cause they couldn't get my secrets from me.
Freemasonry, an ancient fraternity shrouded in mystery. With roots stretching back to the medieval stonemasons, its age-old traditions have remained virtually unchanged for centuries.
When people hear the word Freemason, they think about funny handshakes, they think about rolled-up trouser legs.
If you do a little bit of Googling, it's a cabal of people that are taking over governments and things.
Freemasonry, secrecy, secret society, 100%.
Now, as the Brotherhood celebrates its 300th anniversary, the United Grand Lodge of England is allowing the cameras in for the first time to reveal what really goes on behind closed doors.
Right, now, will you bugger off?
With unprecedented access, we lift the veil of secrecy to discover what it means to be a modern-day Freemason.
Feeling a bit inadequate. It's a lot of fancy aprons, a lot of fancy aprons.
From the regalia...
My mum might say I look like a complete wally, but you can never please your mum.
Forward, brethren.
To the lavish ceremonies.
You will seal that with your lips.
And ancient rituals.
Do you have anything to give in the name of charity?
No. All of the rituals that we do, which are like little plays, I love them.
And of course, the unbreakable bonds of brotherhood.
Listen to that, brother.
Describe it, you go, why would anyone want to do that? But once you're in it, you get it.
Freemasons must believe in a supreme being of their own choice, but it is forbidden to worship the devil.
There are around 200,000 Freemasons across England and Wales, though exactly why men join is a matter of widespread speculation. For 300 years, the United Grand Lodge of England, in the heart of central London, has been headquarters to this secretive brotherhood. To non-Masons, what goes on behind this imposing facade is the subject of endless speculation.
The doors are always shut, so I don't know if I can... I can't imagine what crazy things happen behind there.
Secret society.
Very much.
Where you don't get in.
Yeah.
Unless you are got the secret handshake and you know what's going on.
When I think of Freemasons, I don't know, I just don't get a good feeling about it. I think it's like a religious... I always thought it was like an actual, like a cult.
Sir David Wootton, the former Lord Mayor of London and one of the highest-ranking Freemasons in the country, is well aware of the public suspicion that surrounds the craft.
Because Freemasonry has the reputation of being secret, others are very prone to imagine what goes on, and all you have to do is look at the internet to see some of the wilder theories that we're designing a new world order or getting up to bad things.
Freemasons have not always been secretive. Before the Second World War, they would parade down local high streets in full regalia. But Hitler changed all that.
It's not widely known that during the 1930s and 40s up to 200,000 Freemasons died under Nazi occupation. And the perception that that might happen should the Germans under Hitler arrive in this country was a real source of concern. The only part of British countries that was occupied was the Channel Islands, and there are photographs here of the sacking of the Masonic temple in St Helier, and that was one of the factors leading during the war and after the war to Masonry to go a bit secret, low profile.
Hitler murdered Freemasons for being a subversive force, and in the decades after the Second World War, with secrecy now the norm, public suspicion of the craft grew.
So the secrecy element made Masonry an easy target, and it takes time to recover from that, because once these conspiracy theories, these perceptions have common currency, they keep on being repeated in the media and elsewhere. It just takes time.
But for many non-Masons, clinging onto a culture of secrecy isn't the only way that Freemasonry is stuck in the past.
We've been a male-only Grand Lodge for 300 years. Some people have very strongly held opinions that, that women shouldn't be allowed to join, and some people think that women should be allowed to join, and I think it's just one of those things, really.
I've absolutely no idea what would happen if women were Freemasons, but all I know is that it will never happen in this country.
I think some people would feel that perhaps the character of a meeting would change if there were mixed genders, if you had men and women in the same meeting.
There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't do anybody any harm, and our wives love us being Masons because they know where we are.
I mean, I think any open-minded woman out there watching me and listening to me right now, she could probably think, so what? I don't want to be a Freemason. I'd say, there you go.
Though the membership is small in comparison, women do have their own separate Masonic organisation.
All ready?
And for many members of the all-male United Grand Lodge of England, that's the way it should stay.
If the perception is that Freemasonry is a big boys' club, absolutely right, it is a big boys' club.
In Bedfordshire, Dean O'Connell is Worshipful Master of the Russell Lodge.
Freemasonry is traditionally, from way back, way back, a male thing. It has always been a male thing, exclusively a male thing. And as long as it continues in anywhere near its current form, it will always be purely a male thing. It is the way it's always been and the way it should always be.
Yeah, lining up now, so probably 1 minute.
The brethren will remain standing whilst the worship master.
Women may be excluded from this ancient boys' club, but that doesn't mean they're ignored.
Freemasonry and Freemasons do hold our ladies in very high regard.
And every lodge, every year, generally has a ladies' night, a big ball, a big event, to thank our ladies very especially for letting us out, because we want to be let out again next month.
How many of these have we got to do?
We've got the last 2. We have 98.
As top man in his lodge, it's Dean's responsibility to organise this year's event, assisted by his wife, Mitch.
3-course meal, wine, a gift, and you get treated like a lady for one night.
Just one night. Any more than that's too many nights. On the ladies' night evening, it's a tradition that the worshipful master is called president for the evening. Mitch is then the first lady or the president's bird.
As president's bird, wrapping gifts for the lady guests is not Mitch's only contribution.
A traditional part of the ladies' evening is that there's a toast to the ladies from one of the brethren of the lodge, thanking them for everything they do, and then the lady of the night will give a return of speech in thanks.
It's a situation that I've been put in that I haven't chosen myself. So Dean is a master, and my view of it was, he's a master, why am I having to stand and do a speech? I don't like speeches, I don't like being centre of attention, and it's the fact that everybody's going to be looking at you and you have to say something. Have you got to kiss all these women, as it's the ladies' night, to say hello?
Not all of them, necessarily.
98 women.
I suppose I can cope. The things I have to do.
When he got into it, I was told he would just be out a couple of times a month. And then he really got into it. And now he's a member of like 5 lodges. And he really likes it. But in the week, it's good for him. If he's worked hard, then he can go out and play hard with the doing the Masons.
Women can become Freemasons with 2 grand lodges of their own, and they still call each other brother.
Freemasonry has traditionally been male only, but in the 18th century, a lady called Elizabeth Aldworth managed to surreptitiously go into a lodge meeting, and to keep the secrets secret, they made her a Mason. Okay with that? Great.
Short.
In Bedford, Worshipful Master Dean O'Connell is preparing to host the Russell Lodge's annual Masonic Ladies' Night in a local hotel.
This goes with that for the steward.
Where his wife, Mitch, as First Lady, is expected to deliver a thank you speech on behalf of all the female guests.
I need a drink. I think I need a drink just to calm me, just to chill me.
Mitch has been exceedingly nervous, not sleeping particularly well, and stressing about it an awful lot.
You ready? Ooh! Hoppla! Cheers to you. Good night. How are you feeling about it all tonight, anyway?
I'm not going to be able to eat properly. The fact there's only 6 on the table now, which means I'll feel even more, like, exposed.
But doesn't it feel like it's good that we're all there supporting you and you're not in a room full of strangers? Or
No, it'd be better. I'd be
Would
better.
it really?
Yeah, I think I would be better because it wouldn't matter if I do it wrong.
Nobody's going to know if you've done it wrong, anyway.
When I said it first, I cried.
Oh, bless you.
And I know I'm going to cry.
I am hugely supportive, as much as I can be. She might not think so, but in my own way, I'm hugely supportive. I say, it'll be fine a lot. You'll be absolutely fine.
White eyes.
You look fabulous, darling.
Do I look? Bald here, look.
Come on, chip chop. Time to go.
I've got to get my bag, darling.
Waiting for your lady to get ready is always something that demands a huge amount of patience.
Right, I'm sorry, I've got to do my lipstick before we go down again. Sorry.
All right, come on.
I can't.
It is the nerve-wracking moment. It is the last preparation before then making your way downstairs and presenting yourself in front of everyone.
I think I need a wee. I'm really sorry, I can't help it. If I need a wee, I'm probably better to go for a wee now.
Yeah, go for a wee now. So it's quite a nerve-wracking moment.
I don't know if I want to go yet.
It's time to go.
Do I look cry?
Yes. Super.
My eyes look really red.
No, they're fine.
Gentlemen and brethren, please remain standing to receive the President accompanying his beautiful lady.
For men like Dean, bitten by the Freemasonry bug, it can be an addictive and time-consuming hobby.
Smile. Smile like you're enjoying yourself.
Ladies' nights are a rare opportunity for wives and partners to join the fun.
I think most of the wives and partners of Masons, once they get to understand a little bit about what goes on, would rather boil their eyeballs than actually have anything to do with it.
Do I call you Princess or Queen Mitch tonight?
I don't know. Just call me anything. I'm petrified. To me, it's not an interest, but the social side and their brotherly get-togethers are something special, I think, for them.
They do take it very, very seriously, I know that. And I think they also, from the people that I've spoken to, including my husband, they find it quite emotional.
It's strange. The things, not the things they do, but like the pinny, in my mind it's a little bit weird, but not so weird that I kind of think, please don't do that.
I like supporting him and I like the social side of it, but I'm not interested in what goes on behind the apron.
The toast is the ladies.
With the meal and the formalities and the traditional Mason's song to the ladies out of the way,
I'm a Mason's wife. Get me out of here.
it's time for Mitch to deliver her speech.
Ladies, gentlemen and brethren, I now claim a reply from Our Lady, Mitch O'Connell.
A thank you on behalf of all the ladies in the form of a poem.
Hello. Okay.
Standing here in front of you is really terrifying. Something I've got to get through, although I really feel like crying. But my fears I'll put aside to say I appreciate you being encouraging and supportive. I'm just not sure about your singing. So thank you, Ben, for your speech on behalf of all the ladies. But if you really want to thank us, buy us all a new Mercedes.
Well done. Well done. You did it.
I did it!
So, has Mitch's Masonic adventure given her a taste for joining up?
Thanks, guys.
No, I'm quite happy. I've not got this yearning to go and be a Freemason. No, I'd not. No, and I'm not even the sort that will want to know and find out about it either. It's a boys' club, basically. It's an excuse for a group of men to get together and do a few Masonic-y ritual, funny handshake things and have a drink and a chat and go out quite a lot.
Women may struggle to see the appeal of Freemasonry, but it clearly holds a fascination for many men.
I enjoy all sides of Freemasonry. The ceremonies, the work we do in the community, all of it. I enjoy Freemasonry totally.
I enjoy dressing up, I enjoy learning rituals, I love stories, I love heritage, I love history. So all of the rituals that we do, which are like little plays, I love them.
The Skurit points that straight and undeviating line of conduct laid down for our pursuit in the volume of the sacred law.
In general, most Freemasons' meetings wouldn't get a BAFTA nomination.
The pencil teaches us that words and actions are observed and recorded by the Almighty Architect, to whom we must give an account of our conduct throughout life.
It's a bit like brain training, but when you do get it right, there is a sense of achievement.
The compasses remind us of his unerring and impartial justice, who, having defined for us the limits of good and evil, will reward or punish as we have obeyed or disregarded his divine commands.
There are certainly lodges where people really take pride in, in learning a piece inside out and delivering it like a kind of miniature performance.
Perhaps surprisingly, performing ritual is part of the attraction for many Masons. Chaz Elliott, a former actor and theatre producer, is worshipful master of a lodge that's famous for giving particularly good ritual.
Hello, worshipful master Chaz, how are you, all right?
Chelsea Lodge is an entertainment lodge. It was founded in 1905 by a group of entertainers.
Past members include Bob Monkhouse, Dick Emery and Peter Sellers. In this lodge, putting on a good show is a matter of professional pride.
The criteria for membership is that they make their living from the entertainment industry. We've got comedians and ventriloquists, musicians. So we know what is expected if one is to give a good performance.
Word from Master. Welcome. And members of Chelsea Lodge are expected to give a good performance, with Masons from across the country booking in advance to attend their lodge meetings.
The success of Chelsea comes from having lots of visitors. We literally have coach parties. How are you, Ian? I think they're star spotters. Yeah, I don't think they come to see me.
Current stars they do come to spot include ventriloquist Roger de Courcy, not forgetting Nookie Bear.
Are you both good at learning your ritual?
Yes. I'm brilliant. I'm brilliant. Yeah. Can't do it these nars. We're both brilliant, no.
And 70s prog rocker Rick Wakeman.
Some lodges, of course, are very strict. You have to, at Chelsea, you're expected to learn it. And not just say it, you're expected to understand it, project it, and act it.
Unlike most lodges, Chelsea meets once a week to hone their performance skills in what's known as a lodge of instruction. Today, they're rehearsing a second-degree ceremony for one of their younger members.
Jonathan Chandrapandi, JC001 is his stage name. I understand that Jonathan is a rapper and a beatbox artist. He speaks fluent French and is apparently well known in France.
C'est dégueulasse, pourquoi tu donnes-moi là? Le saladier, c'est le même temps que le pizza, pourquoi ça?
So whoever said variety is dead is wrong, because it's alive and well and living at Chelsea Lodge. Brother Jonathan, where were you first prepared to be made a Freemason?
In a convenient room adjoining the lodge.
No, I don't think so.
It's very difficult because it doesn't rhyme and it ain't got a beat. I can't rap it.
Where were you first prepared to be made a Freemason?
In a convenient room adjoining the lodge. So, yeah, it puts your brain in a different perspective. You have to start using other bits of the old grey matter.
With just days to go before the ceremony and an audience of more than 200 expected, it's down to Chaz to make sure everything runs smoothly.
The pressure is on the worshipful master, whoever it is. And I think the master has to take the lead. It's the swan syndrome. So you have to glide elegantly on top of the water and pedal like mad underneath to make sure everything's going fine. The date on the paper is the 14th of January 1966, and it was great.
Fortunately, Chaz has decades of showbiz experience to call upon.
That's me, aged about 19, I think. I've been a Butlins red coat, been a blue coat, a green coat. I then worked on a cruise line as entertainment officer. That was the first pantomime I was ever in. That's great, isn't it? I think the entertainment business is just so absorbing, and it becomes, people become passionate about the business. We've got that in common in Chelsea, Freemasonry and a business that we all love. We have those conversations all the time. We're like funny old men sitting around putting the world to rights, and particularly the entertainment business. We talk about brotherly love within Freemasonry, and without being too sentimental about that, there is a bond, and that's very special. I work in show business. I do kiss men, and I kiss men at lodge meetings, and they kiss me, and it's lovely.
Showbiz Freemasons include Rick Wakeman, Joe Pascali,
Harry H. Corbett, Jeremy Beadle,
and Peter Sellers. I don't know who these people are.
After you've done your 3 degrees and are a Master Mason, then there's a whole plethora of different degrees that you can join. They're side orders.
So-called side orders include Rose Choir, Royal Arch, Mark Mariner, Knights Templar, Mark Masons, Knights of the Scarlet Cord.
Masonic side orders exist for those who just can't get enough Freemasonry.
The Master Mason's apron,
Worshipful Master Chas Elliott completed the first 3 degrees, or steps, of craft masonry nearly 40 years ago, but was still hungry for more.
What's known as the 4th step is into Royal Arch, or chapter, and then you join another degree, and that's called a mark degree. And then we have a colourful apron for Royal Art Mariners. There's one other degree that I'm interested in, so I hope I keep in good health to be able to continue the journey.
I think a lot of Masons, after they've done their 3rd degree, don't want it to stop there. They want to find out what comes next.
There's a massive world of Freemasonry, a massive world of different degrees, all telling different stories, all got different meanings.
We tend to call them side orders, which does bring up images of onion rings.
But sometimes if you go to too many orders in a week, sometimes you do forget which one you're in and you get it all wrong.
I think it's quite easy to become a semi-professional Freemason if you're not careful and to find that your calendar is just full of Masonic meetings.
Every degree in Freemasonry helps you understand Freemasonry a bit more, and every single degree has a lesson which you can apply to in life.
I'm Royal Arch. I'm also a Rose Croix, which is a wonderful order. Yeah, Prince of the East and West. You can call me Prince. Not like Prince the singer, real Prince.
With its numerous side orders, Freemasonry is an extraordinarily intricate story, with a moral message, some impressive-sounding ranks, and a variety of colourful outfits. But for many outsiders, that's not enough to explain Masonry's enduring popularity. Sir David Wootton, one of Freemasonry's rulers, is in 5 different orders.
There is a perception that Masonry has an element of self-interest in it.
Grand Standard Bearers, Second Assistant Grand Sojourner.
People think Masonry is an exclusive club and that advantages are passed around to the advantage of the members and to the disadvantage of other people. And in my experience, that is not the case.
Grand Scribes Ezra.
We are told in the rules you do not misuse for business purposes, for personal advantage, your Masonic connections. And from what I've seen of the Masonic disciplinary process, it is very strict. In all organisations, there are those who break the rules. Solicitors, accountants, architects. People will always think there's something going on behind the closed doors, but by and large, people don't become Masons for reasons of self-interest, and if they did, they're going to be disappointed.
Do you get back scratched? No. If that was the case, I wouldn't have any points on my driving licence rather than lows. It's another one of those great urban myths.
I've never had a business conversation in Masonry. It would be far too boring. To be fair, when you've worked for 10 hours or longer, the very least thing you want to do is explain your own business to your chums.
You're not going to get any money from it. You're not going to get a better standard of living, a better mortgage rate. You know, you're really not.
There's no financial benefit to joining Freemasonry. In fact, it can be quite expensive.
Has he ever scratched your back?
Not at all. The hand goes inside, yes.
But Freemasonry does look after its own in more transparent ways, through Masonic charities.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling.
In Swansea, local undertaker Matthew Sims has reaped the rewards of a system established hundreds of years ago as a pre-welfare state safety net for Masons and their families.
The music was actually quite recent. I did my master's degree in 2012 and 2013 with financial assistance from the Royal Masonic Trust for Girls and Boys. And without their assistance, I just wouldn't have been able to afford to go and obtain a degree, which was something that I always wanted to do.
In sunshine or in shadow.
Not everybody gets to graduate with a master's degree, you know. But I still want to give something back. I still have a great deal of gratitude.
Matthew, lovely to see you. Hello. Hello, Matthew. How are you?
Matthew's desire to give something back to Masonry is about to come to fruition.
We need 147 people in total, including the dais.
For more than 18 months, he's been working to set up a brand new lodge.
Are there any ones with taller backs for the purpose of my OCD?
All members of the new lodge will share Matthew's passion for music, and the official consecration ceremony is less than 24 hours away.
These are quite important people, so we decided to reserve them a seat. And it helps the director of ceremonies, who's going to be bringing the people in. It just helps them to be able to identify where they need to be seated.
You see, we don't need this.
Working alongside Matthew is Provincial Grand Director of Ceremonies, Worshipful Brother Peter Jones.
Can you put one in the back over there? A consecration is like a birth. And that's what we're looking forward to now with the music lodge. Oh, no, not a big one. No.
You need a small one?
Just a small one, yeah. It's a job I love. Oh, I know what we're missing. We're missing the 3 here. I can't even say it's a hobby, because I don't think that's right. It's not just a hobby, it's more than a hobby. But we can finish the row off and we can put a couple more in there.
Peter, perfectionist.
It's like being director of a play, really, you know. You have to look at the ceremony, then you have to work out exactly how it's going to work.
These are the new collars of the officers, new officers of the lodge. And we didn't have anything to hang these on, and I thought it would be appropriate if I brought a music stand along, which does the job and sinks to the ground. As a founder of the lodge, which you don't say very often, it's almost like our baby, you know, so it's important that it goes correctly and goes smoothly, that we can consecrate the music lodge with a bang.
How smoothly the ceremony goes will depend largely on Peter.
So we're all ready now.
Yeah.
For the morning. All we need is people. As the director of ceremonies, you're here to direct the ceremony, to direct the thespian element of it. You talk to everyone and make sure that they're absolutely sure in what they're doing. Look, are you okay with your bit now? Are you happy the way we're processing in? Are you happy with that? And then I panic just a little bit, you know, sort of to make sure that I've done everything.
Let's go for a pint.
I think music can help us an awful lot to understand how Masonry works. The words that are in the ritual, for me, work a little bit like their music.
When you see ritual delivered well, you know that somebody has really spent a long time going past just knowing the notes to knowing the music.
If the ritual is performed well, then I think you do get the message that is contained within the ritual over far better. If it's just monotone, then people do tend to go to sleep.
I think all Masons are very secret actors at heart, definitely, definitely.
When I was first started as a Mason, I was just so impressed by looking at people from all different walks of life that were smashing this ritual.
There are lodges out there which are ritual superstars, yes, that definitely want to make me want to go and see them, yeah.
At Freemasons Hall, the ritual superstars of Chelsea Lodge, led by Worshipful Master Chaz Elliott, are preparing for curtain up.
Always have to carry one of these with you. Do I get nervous before lodge meetings? Yes, I do. But I think performers know if you're not nervous, you're not going to do a good job. So fear is only bad when it shows. You see me sweating now? I'm sure we'll be fine. We've got over 200 people here, so everyone's quite excited. and I haven't had a moment to go and stand in the corner and mutter the whole ceremony to myself. I'm sure it'll be fine. But the wonderful Roger de Courcy is going to be on my left. He's our chap Ben, and you're going to help me, aren't you, Rog?
No.
Got any shoes? Shoes? My mum bought them for my birthday.
Topping the bill at today's ceremony is beatbox artiste Jonathan Chandra Pandey, formerly the world's fastest rapper.
Yeah, there's a few people in there who are opera singers, drummers. They've smelt the grease paint. They know what the lights are like. They know what the roar of the crowd is. So you're not that special. You are just another brother.
With its showbiz brethren, meetings at Chelsea are a little different from a run-of-the-mill lodge.
Reverend, it's showtime.
Here, they really do put on a show for their guests.
Worshipful Master, is it your desire and wish that we can now speak with a comedic tongue?
It's what I live for, Fred.
Because we have several professional comedians as members, they can't wait to jump to their feet, to fill a pregnant pause.
There's a very good Christmas present. It's a sat-nav for the over-70s lads, because it will tell you where to go and how to get there. And when you get there, it also tells you why you went.
Tesco's now do this new dating agency, so I've put my mum on it. But sadly, nobody really wants a bag for life. Bless me, mother. She loves that gag. She really does.
Once the laughter's subsided, the serious Masonic business can begin.
The myth that Freemasons ride goats into the lodge has never been true, but still survives as a way for Freemasons to wind up their initiates.
The rituals in Freemasonry are intended to be a shared experience which strengthen the bonds of... Oh, I'm really sorry I'm having such a shocker.
For many members, performing ritual is the most enjoyable part of Freemasonry, and the Showbiz Masons of Chelsea Lodge, led by Worshipful Master Chas Elliott, pride themselves on being among the best.
Brethren, our brother Jonathan Chandra Pandey is this evening a candidate to be passed from the first to the second degree.
They're about to discover whether rapper and beatbox artist Brother Jonathan can live up to their high standards.
Brother Jonathan, where were you first prepared to be made a Freemason?
In the body of a lodge, just, perfect, and regular.
And when?
When the sun was at its meridian.
In this country, Freemasons' lodges are usually held in the evening. How do you account for that, which at first appears a paradox?
The sun being at the centre of our solar system, and the Earth consistently revolving around it on its axis, and Freemasonry being universally spread over the Earth's surface, it necessarily follows that the sun must always be at its meridian with respect to Freemasonry.
He performed incredibly well. It was, I've never seen a performance like it.
Who are fit and proper persons to be made Freemasons?
Just, upright and free men of mature age, sound judgment and strict morals.
He thought we were at the Globe, I think. Yeah, it was, bless him.
Brethren, those are the usual questions. If any brother wishes me to put others, I will do so. Brethren, I'd now like to hand over to our compere, Roger de Courcy.
With Jonathan safely passed to the second degree, it's time for the traditional post-meeting social event, known as the festive board. But this being Chelsea Lodge, it's a festive board with a difference, a cabaret performed by the members.
Okay, good evening. Hello, everybody.
And hosted by Roger de Courcy and Nookie Bear.
We'll do some impressions, film titles, film titles, yeah. Look back in anger. Oi! No, oi!
For Worshipful Master Chas Elliott, it's Masonic heaven.
I love Chelsea meetings, they're always good. I'm not sure my wife would be very happy when I say this, but it's like being at your own wedding.
In the summertime, when the weather is high, you can shush right up and touch the sky. When the weather's right, you got women on your mind.
people that are suspicious of Freemasonry, I honestly believe they're missing a treat. You've got that common bond, and that's the great appeal to me. All my best friends are Freemasons.
The public may continue to believe that behind closed doors, Freemasons are plotting a new world order and giving each other a leg up the greasy pole. But for Chaz at least, it doesn't appear to be the priority.
Whoa, touch the sky, touch the sky, touch the sky, touch the sky. It's the summertime, touch the sky.
If the world was run like Freemasonry, it would be a far better place. I don't know where I would be without it. I would be a lost soul.
There are definitely people who join Freemasonry for the kind of mystery side, the side where they think there are sort of Dan Brown-style secrets to be found.
Illuminati, devil worshippers. But I'll say one thing. If you don't understand something, how can you judge it?
It's a shame that there is a public perception of Freemasonry that it's a kind of professional network when it very much isn't.
What it stands for is a brotherhood that helps and cares about other people. And also, at the same time, you can have a lot of fun doing it.
I could go anywhere in the world and visit a lodge. And I'm going to meet someone who's just comes from a totally different background from me, but he was initiated. We shared that in common. It's a wonderful thing. I can't wait for you to join.
For those who have joined, Freemasonry can become much more than a hobby.
How are you? Your name is on the list there, John.
In Cardiff, the consecration of the new music lodge, 2 years in the planning, is just minutes away.
Okay, let's get the show on the road.
It's time for founding member Matthew Sims
Gents, you two need to be on the reserved seats.
and Director of Ceremonies Peter Jones to discover if their hard work has paid off.
Nervous, but we were just waiting. You know, there's nothing worse than just waiting for the event to happen, is there? You remember that when we line up down there, you lead in the back.
Yes, all right, here we go, as they say. Yeah, well, sort of.
I had a feeling of pride, you know, because it's a historic day, and you're going to be bringing a lodge into South Wales province, which hopefully is going to be in the history books for a long time.
It went superbly well. Every element of it just flowed. Everybody did their job to perfection. If anybody had never seen a consecration and came to see that, they would be blown away. It was worth every minute, every sleepless hour when I was thinking about it, every rehearsal we had, every meeting I had with the team, worth every minute. So it was great.
I was elated, and you know that everything went as well as it did. This pride and the privilege of being involved in something so great, and you know hopefully the lodge will go on to succeed for many years. I spoke to Peter afterwards, and he was delighted with the way things went.
Mission accomplished, and I think a beer or a very large gin and tonic is the order of the day now. So if you'll excuse me, I think I'll run off and do that. Thank you.
He certainly earned his gin and tonic, yes, yeah, and several afterwards.
And at the new music lodge's first festive board, Matthew gets to put his Masonically funded singing skills to good use.
As clouds that in sunshine are open,
Serenading the newly appointed worshipful master.
passing through.
I'll always be indebted to Freemasons. I've come from not a rich background and, a working class background, I suppose. And I've had assistance from people on the way.
There's nothing like helping another.
It's making good men better men. And there's a number of things. We all take it in different understandings. There's a charity connection, but it's really about making a good man a better man. And we're all sort of a family of brothers. And that's what Freemasonry gives you, It's a universality and it's something that I'm really proud to be involved with, and I'd encourage anybody to become a Freemason.
And is to his health, and is to his health in a song.
And here's to his health, and on and on and on and on.
So mote it be, so mote it be. Shout out to all my brothers through Freemasonry. Let's meet on the level. I earned 3 degrees, had to kill me cause they couldn't get my secrets from me. So mote it be, so mote it be. Shout out to all my brothers through Freemasonry. Let's meet on the level. I earned 3 degrees, had to kill me cause they couldn't get my secrets from me.
Freemasonry, an ancient fraternity shrouded in mystery. With roots stretching back to the medieval stonemasons, its age-old traditions have remained virtually unchanged for centuries.
When people hear the word Freemason, they think about funny handshakes, they think about rolled-up trouser legs.
If you do a little bit of Googling, it's a cabal of people that are taking over governments and things.
Freemasonry, secrecy, secret society, 100%.
Now, as the Brotherhood celebrates its 300th anniversary, the United Grand Lodge of England is allowing the cameras in for the first time to reveal what really goes on behind closed doors.
Right, now, will you bugger off?
With unprecedented access, we lift the veil of secrecy to discover what it means to be a modern-day Freemason.
I feel a bit inadequate. It's a lot of fancy aprons, a lot of fancy aprons.
From the regalia...
My mum might say I look like a complete wally, but you can never please your mum.
Forward, brethren.
To the lavish ceremonies.
You will seal that with your lips.
And ancient rituals.
Do you have anything to give in the name of charity?
No. All of the rituals that we do, which are like little plays, I love them.
And of course, the unbreakable bonds of brotherhood.
Yeah, smart, brother.
Describe it, you go, why would anyone want to do that? But once you're in it, you get it.
So what do you know about Freemasons and the French Revolution?
Nothing. I have to be quite honest. I'm sure we're to blame for it anyway.
No.
For 300 years, the United Grand Lodge of England has been Freemasonry's governing body. From their impressive headquarters at Freemasons Hall in central London, they manage the Brotherhood's 200,000 members and safeguard its traditions. But Freemasonry is on the decline. Since the war, it's lost around a third of its membership. Every year, nearly 100 Masonic lodges close. And when they do, Assistant Grand Secretary Tony Rayner is responsible for administering the coup de grace.
Well, this is the least favourite part of my job. I have to cancel the warrants of lodges that have been erased by the Grand Lodge at its quarterly communication. And they sit on my desk for months, so this is a batch which I really should have done in September, but I've been putting it off because I hate it. This top one was the Royal Warrant Holders Lodge, and here's the original warrant, which dates from 1899. At the time, the Grand Master was in fact the Prince of Wales, Albert Edward, who went on to become Edward VII. I can imagine that the Prince of Wales had his hand close to here when he put his signature there.
Part of the problem for Freemasonry is its ageing membership. Just 2% of Masons are under 30.
And there, the deed is done.
But Freemasonry is fighting back. City Investment Fund Chairman, Brother James Long, has spent 38 years in the Brotherhood and climbed the ranks to become Grand Sword Bearer with a seat on the Board of General Purposes.
The challenge for us going forward is to show that we have something of attraction to people of all ages, and certainly young people are what we need. There's tradition, there's ritual, there's structure. Actually, a lot of people are looking for that in their lives. They're looking for that element of social guidance. They're looking for the camaraderie. They're attracted by the way we treat one another and are encouraged to treat the rest of the world. There's a big charitable aspect to it.
I don't think Masonry is a difficult sell, even in the age of clubbing or in the age of modern virtual activities.
It's not outdated, it's not uncool. In fact, I think it's pretty cool.
Well, I think it's a preconception that Masonry is only for old people, ambitious sales managers, that kind of thing.
Freemasons have fun, I'll tell you. Crikey, I was in my 50s when I came in. I'd have loved to have been in my 20s when I came in.
Part of Freemasonry's battle plan involves targeting students via their specially created university scheme. On the front line is Dr. David Staples. Tonight, he's attending his mother lodge, the Apollo in Oxford.
The Apollo University Lodge is the university lodge for Oxford University. It's the lodge that I was initiated into some 21 years ago, and it has members who are in some way connected with Oxford.
Well, we usually have between 40 and 50 people. As you can see, a various variety of costumes worn by all, and as you can see, a number of people from all different ages. And there's certainly enough people I know to make it a fun, promising evening for me.
Former brothers at the Apollo include Oscar Wilde, Cecil Rhodes and Albert Edward, Prince of Wales, who would later become Grand Master.
Jeffrey, how are you? Nice to see you.
I was wondering where you were.
Ah, no, I've been sort of lurking about upstairs with gin and tonic. But no, quite right, quite right. Looking good.
Thank you very much.
Jeffrey, I still remember my interview with you 23 years ago, absolutely.
What did I say to you?
Absolutely nothing whatsoever. You told me absolutely nothing.
The Apollo has been attracting young men into Masonry for nearly 200 years and has picked up some unusual traditions along the way.
The dress code for Apollo is steeped in history. We will wear black tie or white tie, and if you are an active officer, you will be in court dress, which involves persuading people that it's a good idea to wear stockings and little gold buckles on their shoes.
Well, they're not really costumes, they're uniforms. So the uniform comes from one of the crown princes, I think he was Austrian. No, he could have been Frederick, I think his name was. And he basically gave us the right to wear, effectively, his livery, court dress. So that's why we all end up in tights and breeches and tailcoats. Yeah.
Why don't you wear court dress?
Because there's a limit to how much of a numpty at 41 years old I'm willing to willing to look.
The Apollo has no problems recruiting from Oxford's bright young things. Current membership is in the region of 300, and tonight the lodge will be conducting ceremonies for 5 more brothers.
In each degree in Freemasonry, there's a need to prepare the candidate. It seems a little bit strange, but there is reasons for doing this. In this particular case, they are asked to remove, amongst other things, amongst other items of clothing, they removed their shoes and they put these slippers on instead. But the nature of the preparation, unfortunately, you cannot witness. I'm sorry to say. You'll be unable to witness the preparation of the candidates.
David Staples is vice chairman of Freemasonry's university scheme. And when it comes to attracting students into Masonry, Apollo University Lodge is the prototype.
Student lodges can't be too rigid. They can't have dinners that go on for hours because people will just get bored of them. And they'll go once or twice and they think, my God, this isn't for me, and they'll leave. So you have to make them lively, vibrant, interesting and relevant. And as part of the University Scheme Committee, that's what we do. Students join Freemasonry because they're looking for something different.
Perhaps unsurprisingly, persuading undergraduates at less historic universities that Freemasonry is the best use of their spare time is more of a challenge. The man who spent years meeting that challenge head-on in Leicester is Worshipful Brother Professor Andy Green.
The university scheme is incredibly important to bring new life and blood into the fraternity, and we see that as a way of being able to bring new enthusiasm into the craft.
Andy's day job is finding a cure for cancer, but any spare time is dedicated to Freemasonry and persuading students that it's the best use of their time and money.
Hi, Ryan.
Yeah, hi, Andy.
Hi, yeah, nice to meet you. Come in. It's the first time in Freemasons Hall.
It's not really about a hard sell, it's just really raising awareness that, hey, you know, we're a Freemasons Lodge and you can come along and enjoy what we enjoy.
So you're at Leicester University?
Yes.
Studying
physics with space science technology.
Wow.
Any man can join the Brotherhood, as long as they believe in a supreme being and don't have a criminal record.
What I get out of Freemasonry, what Paul gets out of Freemasonry, may be completely different. But we're all there wanting to better ourselves, and it's a real self-improvement program, I guess, being a Mason, and learning to be better people in society and in life.
I think they see it as escapism from that environment of being drunk and going out and doing pub crawls and such.
With money often an obstacle, students are enticed in with reduced fees.
So our subscription per year is £215. There's also a Provincial Grand Lodge registration fee of £25, and then there's a Grand Lodge fee, which will be £31. So there's a one-off fee for £111, plus then the subscription of £190. As a Mason, we expect some monetary contribution to our charities, and also then the dining costs, okay? So we have a dinner, we don't eat for free, unfortunately. So a dining meal is generally £24, £23, depends on the menu. If you want wine on top, that's generally about £5 or £6. So I think I'm about done. And have you got anything else to add?
No, absolutely, you actually covered everything.
Anything else you'd like to ask? While you have us at the moment here.
I think it's just a case of reading through and thinking it over, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of my roles, I think, within Freemasonry is enthusing these young adults to join Masonry, and why wouldn't they?
In 1717, 4 lodges met in the Goose and Gridiron pub to form the first Grand Lodge of England.
Interestingly, the guillotine was named after Dr. Guillotine, who was a Freemason.
At Freemasons Hall in central London, they're preparing for the biggest day of the Masonic calendar, annual investiture, the Masonic equivalent of the New Year's Honours List. This ticket-only event will see 1,800 Masons packing the Grand Temple, where the Grand Master, His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent, will personally invest those that have been honoured with Grand rank. Grand Sword-bearer James Long is looking over the letters that will set Masonic hearts racing.
It's a great privilege
to have. It's a great honour. People will feel particularly pleased tomorrow when they get these. I've received them in the past, and you know, it's something where you're always rather knocked backwards by it. I see somebody from my lodge, the Apollo University in Oxford, David Staples. He's becoming a Deputy Grand Director of Ceremonies. There's only one of those a year. To go from being an Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies, as David's going to do, to a Deputy Grand Director of Ceremonies, that is big.
So this is my letter, which has come from the Grand Secretary, and it's appointed me to this, which is an active role within Grand Lodge.
So how many of those are there? Because it's only deputy, not the actual Grand Director.
Yeah, I think it's quite unlikely I shall ever be actual Grand Director, but there are three deputies.
Well done.
Thank you very much, dear. Thank you very much.
So I think it is quite difficult to get excited when you don't really understand.
But I took you down to London. No, I took you and my
yes,
parents
I
down.
did see lots of people with sticks.
Do I consider myself a high achiever? I suppose I do now, but it's taken me a while to get there. I have never gone out of my way to, in any aspect of my life, to try and get something that I wasn't entitled to. I've never had a huge interest in promotion just for promotion's sake, but I have done rather well masonically against the odds, and I have done rather well in my career.
Brother David Staples was first given Grand Rank for his work attracting new members through the university scheme. In Leicester, Professor Andy Green has also had some good news.
Dear Sir and Brother, I have received the commands of the Most Worshipful the Grand Master, His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent, to inform you that he proposes to appoint you to the rank of Past Assistant Grand Standard Bearer in the United Grand Lodge of England, and that's signed by the Grand Secretary. Grand rank for any Mason is a completely high honour, and I think receiving it at a young age, I'm still not quite used to it, and you know, I'm still flabbergasted.
Congratulations, joined the clan.
Indeed.
You're now going to find out some of the expenses.
Yeah, well done. Thanks, Tony.
Thoroughly deserved.
Yeah, you know, I'm still shell shocked, to be honest. I didn't expect.
Smile on your face now.
Didn't expect to see that in the envelopes on Saturday morning at all.
Lovely thing, isn't it? Drop it on the mat.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Yeah.
What's this?
What's this? Because it has a square and compass on the front. And I was thinking, I don't usually get letters with square and compasses on, you know.
Or addressed to the worshipful brother.
Yeah. Good stuff. We'll no doubt see you in April, if not before.
Absolutely.
See you tonight.
Yeah, see you tonight. Absolutely. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
I think it's incredibly nice to be recognised for some of the work that I put in. Not that that's what I've ever done it for.
How are you?
How are you?
Very well, thanks.
Congratulations again. Have you got your new frock on tonight?
No, not tonight. It's week on Wednesday.
I owe everything to Masonry, I think, of who I am and how I am in life.
It'll be a fantastic evening.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah, well, there'll be lots of gold fuss about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
I suffer from chronic fatigue syndrome, or ME, as it's more commonly known. And that really hit me just after I joined Masonry back in 1999. And they were really dark days. I was practically unable to walk. I couldn't get out of bed. Obviously, with that fatigue, then set in depression, and you have suicidal thoughts, and you're in a really, really dark place. I think with Masonry always being there and being there to support me, and friends phoning me up, are you okay? Can we do anything? Can we help? Can we do your shopping? You're relying on people. Masonry gives you that comfort that you can go into a lodge. You know exactly what to expect. There's no tension, there's no arguments, there's, you know, it's sort of complete enjoyment, which you don't get anywhere else, you know, either in work or home life.
Brother Andy has been honoured with grand rank for attracting new blood into Masonry through university lodges. Back at Freemasons HQ, they're looking at other options to increase membership, including the creation of new special interest lodges.
This is a warrant for a new lodge, the Football Lodge number 9921. David Richard Lalana, who will be the first master, Sean Gerard Whelan, Leon Michael Whitfield, these will be the first wardens, and others. They've said we want to found a new lodge. It has been considered, and this is then the warrant that we will give to that lodge. So it's very important. I mean, anybody in this country can say, I'm forming a lodge of Freemasons, and you can, but to us you are irregular Freemasons. This is your stamp of approval. This shows that you're one of us, you really are part of the United Grand Lodge of England.
It is a very special thing when a new lodge is born, in whatever area and of whatever topic and with whatever idea for the consecration.
Specialist lodges are a way of encouraging members with a particular interest to group together. So they've not only got the bond of Freemasonry, but they've got the bond of, it may be classic car ownership, it may be that they enjoy the same sport.
Football lodge, all for it. Maybe we'll have a Mason United. Freemasons United. Yeah, that'd be quite good, wouldn't it, really?
Along with his friend Sean Whelan, the new specialist lodge is the brainchild of David Lalana, Freemason, lifelong football fan, and father of Liverpool and England star Adam Lalana.
Football is an integral part of our community. What better way to attract the younger male? And what brings people together more than hobbies?
With the Football Lodge's official consecration looming, David and his team are making their final preparations.
As you asked, we've gone for the new square and compasses. So instead of having the markings on the square or the round bit on the top of the compass, we've gone to much more of an iconicized version.
Yeah.
We've got the football, and we've used an actual football rather than a drawn version. I just think it gives it that little bit more pop.
Depth. Esto, be ready.
Be ready.
Are we ready?
We've always been ready.
Bring it on. That's brilliant, Simon. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that.
It's a pleasure, mate.
Absolutely terrific.
Absolute pleasure.
We've looked at how we need to drive Freemasonry into the 21st century. If you stand still, you die. End of.
Virtually everything in the Football Lodge will be football themed, even the gavels.
Superb.
Is that what you wanted?
That is absolutely better than I expected, ever. That's superb. That
So
is
really
we grab
superb.
them like that.
Yeah.
Is that right? And it's...
Yes. Proper studs as well.
Oh, yeah.
None of the blade stuff.
Mind that table, whatever you do, Sean, because otherwise I'll be looking for a new home tonight. It's about bringing Freemasonry to the people. They can identify, not just with an ordinary gavel, a gavel that's got a football book. We are a football lodge. If this doesn't fit the bill, what does?
Absolutely.
So this is our song.
Off you go.
Blue is the colour, football is the game. Masons together, supporting is our aim. So cheer us on through the sun and rain. The Football Lodge is our name.
No.
Footballers, Stanley Matthews, Dixie Dean, Stanley Matthews, Dixie Dean, were all Freemasons.
And Nat Lofthouse as well?
And including Nat Lofthouse. I never knew that.
England's World Cup winning manager Alf Ramsey was a Mason. So were his successors, Joe Mercer, Don Reevy and Ron Greenwood.
Check the gloves, jewels, apron.
Worshipful brother David Lalana is preparing for the biggest day of his 24-year Masonic career.
Right, we're there. Done. I'll tell you what the most important thing is, that there. You've got 250 black cases in one room. People are going to walk out with the wrong case. VIP.
After 18 months of planning, his dream of bringing Masonry to the common man by founding a football-themed lodge is about to become a reality.
Ready. The birth of a new lodge, it doesn't happen every day. People always focus on the death of a lodge, but we should always focus on new life.
Oh, they got a lovely sound to him. Oh, sorry, Dave.
Attended by 250 Masons, the ceremony is being held in the conference room of a local hotel, transformed for the occasion.
Ultimately, as the master, everything revolves around what you do, and you want the standards to be high. I felt under pressure, massive pressure, but it's pressure we bring on ourselves to do as well as we can.
The consecration of a lodge is a very rare event in Masonry. Few Masons have seen one. But our cameras have been given permission to film this unique spectacle.
I knew all the bricks were in place to ensure that the house was built properly, but you still get very nervous. Of course you do.
I scatter corn on this lodge.
The consecration ceremony is conducted by the highest-ranking Mason in the province, the Provincial Grand Master.
As a symbol.
In order to bring the lodge into existence, he scatters corn, wine, and oil.
Of plenty and abundance.
These offerings bless and sanctify the new lodge.
May the blessings of morality and virtue increase under its auspices, producing fruit an hundredfold. I pour wine on this lodge as a symbol of joy and cheerfulness.
Very few people have the privilege of being a consecration member.
I pour oil on this lodge as a symbol of peace.
Even fewer people are in the privileged position of being Primus Master of a lodge that they're passionate about.
Armed with the lodge's personalised football, David can officially take up his role as master of the first ever football lodge.
Went brilliantly. Well done. Cheers, thanks for your support.
Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done, Sean, for hanging in there.
If a Mason doesn't enjoy a consecration, there must be something wrong with him. There's no doubt about that.
And now for the enjoyable part, we're going to relax, let the festive board be built, and enjoy ourselves. Let your hair down a bit.
Football is the game, Masons together, supporting is our aim. So cheer us on through the sun and rain, the Football Lodge is our name.
Breathing life into the football lodge has taken the best part of 2 years.
Brethren, they think it's all over.
And David's hard work has not gone unnoticed by the powers that be. At the upcoming annual investiture, he's to be rewarded with the grand rank of Past Assistant Grand Sword Bearer.
If somebody said to me in 1992, when I first became a Freemason, that in 24 years I'd be a Grand Officer, I would have laughed at them. But it's something that just happens to you. But what I do know is if you get it, you've worked hard for it and you deserve it.
Grand rank is one of the highest offices you can attain in Freemasonry. You are then a member of Grand Lodge, and it's a very important position indeed.
Grand rank is probably something that I won't see for quite a few years.
I'd say that Grand rank isn't sought after by Masons because it is very, very elusive. It's like going swimming every Saturday in the local pool, but hoping to win an Olympic medal.
We shouldn't be perhaps putting too much store by the grand names, even though, of course, we respect them very much.
Is there one going there? Whelan. W-H-E-L-A-N. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Each year, only 1 in 500 Masons will achieve Grand rank. With annual investiture fast approaching, Dr. David Staples, the soon-to-be Deputy Grand Director of Ceremonies, is attending a meeting at his London lodge in the city.
This evening I'm going to the Middlesex Lodge, which is my main London lodge. I am the secretary of that lodge, which is effectively the administrator for it, and I joined it about 20 years ago when I came down from university, and it holds a very special place in my heart.
This is Brother Staples' first visit to the Middlesex since news of his forthcoming elevation was made public.
Well, I seem to hear of you. You seem to be going up the magical staircase.
It's a cross. It's a cross,
but the DC must be showing itself.
It is a cross, but one of us has to bear it.
The Middlesex Lodge has an illustrious history stretching back nearly 300 years. Its discerning members are movers and shakers in the city and demand the highest standards.
Chris Stewart is our what we call Brother Wine. So he is somebody who knows a huge amount about wine, and he is involved in selecting various things that we drink. Do you know what we're drinking this evening?
We're drinking a white wine de Grave from the Bordeaux area, and then red with the main course. We are finishing up the remains of our 2008 Chateau Beaumont, and then we'll be going on to the new Caron Saint-Gemme, which we haven't tried yet, in 2009. Thank you. Oh, it's got a lovely nose to it. Mm-hmm. It really has.
While the Freemasons get down to work, hidden away from prying eyes, the lodge's Michelin-starred chef is busy preparing their ceremonial dinner.
Now, for the Masonics, they love their food, and they like an element of traditional food, hence that's why we got coq au vin and rice pudding.
As lodge secretary, it's David's responsibility to make sure the evening runs smoothly.
It always makes my job just a little bit more interesting when 10 minutes to go you've got to go and tell the slightly grumpy Michelin star chef that there's another 3 dinners needed. But anyway, let's see how that goes.
It's a responsibility that includes entertaining the assembled brethren with an after-dinner speech.
Worshipful Master, Brother Wardens, brethren. This is the part of the evening when we look back on our history. There's a lot of history around this table.
But for David, public speaking hasn't always come naturally.
And I have this evening the original minute book from 1916. The lodge met at the Prince's Hotel, Jermyn Street, on Wednesday, the 21st day of March. I have grown enormously in confidence since I became a Freemason. I was really quite a shy young thing, I think, at the age of 17, 18, as I was coming out of school. I went up to Oxford, never having really expected to get into Oxford, as I don't think anyone really does, from a very ordinary background. To those original brethren who founded this lodge in the early days of speculative masonry. Brethren, our ancient brethren.
Ancient brethren.
Ancient brethren. I will now regularly stand in front of very large meetings, having not prepared a huge amount for it, and I will speak confidently and reasonably, and hopefully vaguely knowledgeably about what I'm talking about. Freemasonry really has given me that confidence and ability to do that.
Masonry is about something that happens in you and to you. Sometimes you are successful in it, sometimes you are very unsuccessful at being the kind of person or Mason that you want to be.
It's a personal journey, so each and every brother out there has their own interpretation of what they're going through and what they're experiencing.
It's a real brotherhood of people who care about each other and actually care about other people as well.
For myself, I will always be a Freemason. That is the way for most of us, that once we join, that is it. We're a Freemason for life. We never stop.
Stiff collars, collar studs, cufflinks.
Annual investiture, the biggest event in the Masonic year, has arrived. And with grand promotion looming, David can't leave anything to chance.
These are the implements of abject torture that I'm going to have to be wearing for the next 2 days or so. Thoroughly uncomfortable.
I think of it really as his thing, and I'm not really that excited about it because I don't really understand it.
Right, I'm off. Bye-bye, little one. See you on Friday. Bye-bye, big one. See you on Friday.
Friday. Okay. I hope it all goes well.
Fingers crossed. See you later.
Specialist lodges include scouting lodges, fly fishing. Oh gosh, is there really a fly fishing lodge? Don't be having a bubble.
The present Grand Master is His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent.
The United Grand Lodge of England is making last-minute preparations for annual investiture, the biggest day in the Masonic calendar. With the Grand Master presiding, everything has to be perfect.
It's very exciting to see the Grand Master here. He comes once a year, well, the Grand Lodge he comes once or twice a year. It's a great honour for him to place the chains on people and collars on them.
Today, 1,800 Masons from across the provinces and around the world are descending on London to attend this golden spectacle, 373 of whom will be honoured with grand rank. Representing the province of Leicestershire is Professor Andy Green, who's being rewarded for taking Freemasonry to the next generation.
Nice to see you. It's all come a bit of a reality now, I think, a little bit more real, so I think the nerves will kick in probably inside.
Will you forgive me? I'm going to do it. Hold on, mate. Hold on, mate. Otherwise, you're going to look bad all day. Yeah. Okay? I can do it. Yes, I've got a spare stud. Don't worry about it. Right, now, will you bugger off?
With a little help from his brothers, Dr. David Staples is preparing for his big moment.
If you put a tie pin in that at the bottom, that will not ever come out again.
Great.
Okay?
Thank you very much, Michael. Much obliged. Okay, so he's done that in about, 3 minutes. It took me 13 minutes this morning to do it completely wrong.
Right, let's go and get gowned up then. Let's find a place.
Also attending is Football Lodge Supremo, David Lalana.
Full of Masons, that's the problem.
Putting that apron on at the start of the annual investiture was a very special moment, a very proud moment for me as well. Would you mind just doing my collar for me?
It's mine up, I don't know whether mine's in the right place.
I'll sanctuate.
Excuse me, young man, would you just do me, do the honours? Thanks very much.
Some of the 90 grand ranks in Masonry are purely symbolic, and some are considerably grander than others.
I am
the Grand Sword Bearer. But today, I'm actually going to be invested as the Deputy President of the Board. And therefore, I'm actually going to come in wearing my new apron, which is as Deputy President. But because I'm going to be carrying the sword in, I'm going to wear the sword bearer's jewel and collar. So I'm doing a bit of cross-dressing today, but never mind, we'll get there.
While the brethren take their seats, excitement levels are building as the United Grand Lodge of England eagerly awaits the arrival of their Grand Master. As the grand procession forms, Dr. David Staples, the new Deputy Grand Director of Ceremonies, is feeling the heat.
There are people who have fainted as Deputy Grand Director of Ceremonies, and they are legendary now. There are people who've done all sorts of things. It is known as doing an X. I do not want doing a Staples to enter the Masonic legend of things which go wrong.
Despite our unprecedented access, out of respect for the Grand Master, this ceremony will remain behind closed doors.
The Grand Master is a big deal, obviously. He's somebody that, especially us in the provinces, won't ever have seen at any kind of event.
The Grand Master is the Duke of Kent, isn't it? Is that right? I don't know him personally. I regret that. I hope to run into him at some future stage. I think he's been doing a spiffing job.
The Grand Master. Well, actually, I know him quite well. Dear old Michael. I shouldn't call him Michael. Oh, sorry.
I very much hope that the Grand Master will continue in this function, and in fact that he has a good succession plan as well. If the time ever comes.
I managed to get through today without either dropping the stick, falling over, fainting, or saying the wrong words, so yeah, that's good.
Absolutely fantastic experience, something that will stay with me for the rest of my life. I really take my hat off to His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent, who stood on his feet for over 2 hours to actually hand deliver those collars. Fair play to him.
Immense. It was absolutely awestruck. I was up there, but it happened so quickly and such in a flash. But what a memorable day! What a memorable day! I'll never forget it.
For 300 years, Freemasons have dined together as brothers, and tonight is no exception. This is the Grand Festival.
Most wonderful Grand Master.
No one can predict what the future holds for the world's oldest fraternity. But what is undisputed is the importance of the Brotherhood to its members.
Yeah, Masonry's incredibly special for me, and I'm very heartened with the way that we are being really understood by people who aren't Masons of what we're about, what we do and why we enjoy it.
300 years, 5-6 generations, incredible. We've stood the test of time. I think the future's bright, I really do.
If Freemasonry didn't exist in the world, would the world notice? You know, I'm not convinced that it would, but it would certainly have lost something.
So mote it be, so mote it be. Shout out to all my brothers through Freemasonry. Let's meet on the level. I earned 3 degrees, had to kill me cause they couldn't get my secrets from me. So mote it be, so mote it be. Shout out to all my brothers through Freemasonry. Let's meet on the level. I earned 3 degrees, had to kill me cause they couldn't get my secrets from me.